Edinburgh is the scene for tonight's live World League action, as the Scottish Claymores will look to slay the Barcelona Dragons. Two teams in desperate need of a win. There's no turning back now for either of them. They have to win tonight, otherwise their seasons are over. Both of them 0-2 in the second half of the season. If they go 0-3, they can forget all about the World Bowl. The overall figures, well, they're better for Barcelona than the Claymores. The Claymores 1-6. How easy it would have been for them to be 6-1, but it just hasn't gone their way. And Barcelona coming off 3 tough losses, all games they could have won at all. Two teams that haven't had any luck at all, but they've got an improving quarterback in Jay Walker, Mike.
And Jay Walker has really done the job since he took over the #1 spot. We knew he had a strong arm coming in, but he's risen to the occasion. He looks like a seasoned quarterback already. He gets better week by week. He leads the team. He reads really well.
And for the Claymores, the key man is this fella, Saran Stacey.
And they've got to move the ball on the ground. Their passing attack has been very erratic all season. They need to gain yardage rushing in order to be able to establish that passing game.
Saran Stacey could become the World League rushing leader this evening. Ralph Dawkins is the only player ahead of him, and he's not playing anymore this season. Jack Bicknell, the best record, well, the most successful coach in World League history, but then again the only guy that's been here for 3 seasons as well.
And that's about the first time we've seen Jack smile in the last 3 weeks.
It's not been a good few weeks for Jack Bicknell, and it's been a miserable few weeks for Jim Kreiner, who just can't buy a break at the moment.
No, he's seen the Scottish Claymores come very close so many times and then throw games away. And we've said it before, but how different their season might have been if that last-second field goal in the first game had been good and they had won their opening game against Ryan.
Well, Scott Serrady will get things underway. This fella drafted by London, cut in favour of Don Silvestri. Nothing wrong with Don Silvestri's kicking, but nothing wrong with this fella's kicking either. He has had an outstanding season.
9 for 11 on field goals, hasn't missed an extra point. He's done a decent job punting as well.
So it'll be Serrady that gets it underway. Marcus Thomas is back deep, as is Alan de Graffenried. And Saran Stacey is back there as well. 3 return men deep, and all of them with the ability to do some damage. The Claymores 1-6 overall, but incredibly still mathematically in with a chance of going to the World Bowl.
Anyone finishing 3-2 could very easily win that second half of the season.
So it's the Claymores versus the Dragons live, run away. A high end-over-end kick fielded at the 10 by de Graffenried, who gets nailed straight away. Special tag in from Todd Farrell and Tommy Thinkpen, number 51. So what a day for Matt Blundin.
And you notice Barcelona's kickoff coverage a lot more keeping to the lanes than they did last week.
Matt Blundin from the Kansas City Chiefs knows that the general manager of the Chiefs, Jack Peterson, is in the crowd tonight. He's got to impress his boss.
And we keep waiting for Matt Blundin to have the big game. He's got the arm for it. He's got the physical talent.
First down for the Claymores. They go on the ground, which they've done so often this season, and Saran Stacey gets some great blocks. Chucky Johnson, number 99, eventually bringing him down, but a gain of 7 or 8 there for Saran Stacey, who's had an outstanding season with some help from Marcus Thomas, who's done a lot of blocking for him. De Graffenried and Lee Harris getting the start ahead of Tim Barnett. Dwayne Chandler, the underrated tight end.
And you can run against Barcelona's 3-4 defense.
Second down and 3. Blundin drops the pass. Pressure comes from O'Brien. Blundin gets it away, looking for de Graffenried, but nothing doing there, and the pressure was from O'Brien.
And you heard Horace Morris say Blundin's a big guy, takes a lot of time to get the ball away, and Kevin O'Brien was taking advantage of that. The
Claymores' offensive line has been their Achilles heel this season. It's never been the same starting 5 for any 2 games, and the same thing has happened again. Tom Scott comes into the lineup. Hisham Ismail switches over to the left guard position. Other than that, it's pretty much as you were. But the Claymores have to get their line sorted out tonight. De Graffenried goes in motion on 3rd down and 3. They give to Stacey, who gets over the 40-yard line. Good enough for first down yardage. Ken Alexander on the stop.
And it looks like Chucky Johnson is down on the field.
A shaken up Dragon on this opening series.
And there was the hole there. Stacey got through and then made the first down yardage on his own, taking it right through the hole. And if Chucky Johnson goes down, that's a very bad break for Barcelona.
Not much depth on that defensive line. Chucky Johnson, one of the starters all season, plays in a three-man line, and really if he goes down, they've got Keith Traylor and they've got Vladimir Illich, the German.
And Traylor was an NFL allocation from the Chiefs, but he hasn't been healthy. He's really now, only for the first time all season, at full speed. So we may be seeing a lot of him today if Chucky Johnson's actually hurt. Barcelona's got the 3-4 defense, and the way they play, they give up a lot of yardage, but they were a big play defensive team, at least until Mike Middleton left with the injury. Now they haven't been getting the interceptions. O'Brien hasn't been getting the sacks. Without the big play, it's tough because you can gain a lot of yards on their defense.
It's a solid defense. Unfortunately for the Dragons, it's ranked 6th overall and last against the pass. They do give up big plays, as Mike said, ever since Mike Middleton went down. That really seems to have disrupted their secondary. Well, we'll take a timeout as Chucky Johnson gets some help. We'll be back just after this.
No question about it. There are times where you want to stand back and applaud when you see the great plays made by great players. And, you know, on your football team, you're going to applaud a little bit harder, but you still acknowledge and you recognize great plays made by players on the opponent's football team.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Roy Jones, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. Virtuoso power, precision quickness. Vinny Pazienza, relentless, courageous former champion. Miraculous career of beating the odds. The stakes have never been higher. It's the Devil and Mr. Jones, sheer will versus pure skill. Live on Direct Ticket Saturday, June 24th from Atlantic City. 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 101 for only $29.95, live on Direct Ticket.
Scoreless here at Murrayfield early in the first quarter. The injury is why there's a delay of the game at the moment. Chucky Johnson on the sideline getting some attention, and it doesn't look very good for Chucky.
Now, when Keith Traylor has come in for him, it looks like they may be putting Traylor at nose tackle and moving Byron Bonds to the left end spot.
DeGraffenried goes in motion, covered by Chris Crooms. They stay on the ground, and not much being down. A loss of 2 off O'Brien on the stop. Saran Stacey, the ball carrier.
And you saw O'Brien make the tackle, but you also saw Keith Traylor pushing his blocker backwards and really plugging up the middle of that line.
Well, Chucky Johnson absent now. He started, but Keith Traylor has come in, and that's shaken up that defensive line. Normally Bonds would play at nose tackle, with Victor Hall looking to do some damage from his defensive end position, but it'll be interesting to see how that line settles down in the absence of Johnson. 2nd down and 11. Marcus Thomas in motion in the backfield. Deep drop and a little dump off and a lot of running there. Eventually brought down close to first down yardage. Ken Alexander in on the stop.
And we've seen Scotland go to the screen pass a lot before, and they do it this time, and they do it really well.
O'Brien and Lindstrom, the outside linebackers in the 3-4 set. Juan Long is the pick of this group, joined in the middle by Ken Alexander. They were just short of first down yardage. The ball's been spotted on the 50-yard line, which will bring up a 3rd down and 1, a gain of 10 on the screen pass. They stay on the ground, and Stacey bounces off one tackler, turns the corner, and may just have got the first down that he needed. Eric Turner, number 28, stayed with him, and it depends where they spot the ball, but there was some space for Saran Stacey, but Turner closed him down very quickly.
Ken Alexander was stunting in and came in and gave Stacey a good knock, but Saran kept his feet and kept it. I think you'll see Alexander come right through the middle of the line, right there, bump Stacey, and he looks for running room now, but he didn't make the first down. Turner did a nice job of coming up quickly before he could get to the corner.
So great job from Eric Turner means that the Claymores come up empty, so Sean Conley fields a high snap, and it's blocked.
And Keith Traylor, who just came in the game, is the guy who blocked it.
And goes out of bounds at around the 44-yard line. So another bad break for the Scottish Claymores. They've had bad breaks all season long, There's another one, and Chris Crooms got a piece of that, and a blocked punt to start things off for the Scottish Claymores.
Conley takes a long time to get that one off, and it's Chris Crooms coming through the middle who gets the block, not Keith Traylor. And now Eric Lindstrom tries to pick it up to run with it and misses it, which could have been dangerous, but Barcelona takes over in great field position.
So first down, Dragons in Claymore's territory.
Watch for Jack McNell to go deep.
3 wide receivers, Lindsey Chapman in the backfield. Jay Walker swings wide looking for Mario Henry. There was thoughts of an interception there, but it's incomplete.
More than thoughts. That one was almost gone.
This fella improving with every game. The man allocated from the New England Patriots started off very slowly the first 3 weeks, but is really coming into his own, and most importantly for Jack McNell's team, is showing great leadership and maturity. Second down. And they switch Joey Mickey and Demetrius Davis, the tight end and the H-back, trying to load up the left side. They give to Lindsey Chapman on the draw play, who picks up around 7 or 8 yards before he's tackled.
And one thing the Dragons like to do is to simply get the numbers at the offensive line in their favor. That's what they did that time.
Lindsey Chapman gets the start in the backfield ahead of Ricky Blake. Demetrius Davis, we all know about him. The H-back, Tyree Davis and Mario Henry, both NFL players out wide, and Joey Mickey, the big blocking tight end, who's so important to this Dragons running game.
And with both Mickey and Davis, they've got the outside linebackers from the Claymores worrying about them.
Third down and 3 for the Dragons. Walker drops back to pass, has got a lot of time, just puts it over the middle, and it's picked up by Tyree Davis, but he fumbles, does he? The Claymores think that George Coghill is forced to fumble, but the officials say that Davis was down.
And Walker had a lot of time to throw there because Davis came all the way over from the left, all the way across the field, and Walker just waited until he finally came open.
And it's going to be close to first down yardage. They may call for the chains, and indeed the chains are coming out, but from where that ball's been spotted, it looks good for the Dragons. But a tremendous hit from Coghill on Tyree Davis. And both these teams, they've been plagued by turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, broken plays all season. We've had one already, and we nearly had another one there.
And you see that looks like they're just short by a nose on the first down. Should make an interesting call now for Jack McNell.
Or Jay Walker, who's so powerful at quarterback.
But remember, all they had to do was quarterback sneak for a first down on a second and very short one against Amsterdam, and they could have killed the rest of the game out, and they fumbled the snap. So it's never a sure play.
Well, the offensive unit stays in. The Dragons are going for it on fourth down. And the Claymores stack the line. They know what's coming now. The heavy mob in for Barcelona. Walker gets it, bounces off one tackle and picks up comfortable first down yardage. George Coghill came up and made the stop, but it was too late for the Claymores.
And the Claymores did a good job of stopping the initial sneak, but Walker's so big and strong that he just stepped back and then took another route through.
And it helps when you're working behind a very settled offensive line. These guys have been there through training camp and right through the season, and they've got a ton of NFL experience between them. All of them have played in the Major League. And first down for the Barcelona Dragons. Demetrius Davis is in as the H-back. They give to Lindsey Chapman, who falls over, still manages to get up, but will lose yardage. And no, he does well. That curved run, Brian Jones eventually coming across. But it looked like Lindsey Davis was down about 3 times there.
And Chapman had running room, and I think he was so excited about it that he just skidded on the turf and then got himself up and gained yardage anyway.
The Claymores have an outstanding defensive group. Number 1 against the run. Young and Brandon, the pass rushers. Jeffcoat and Ridgely, the run stoppers in the middle. Second down and around 8. Walker drops, goes over the middle, complete to Demetrius Davis, who picks up first down yardage and more. Darrell Lewis coming in and making the stop, but the Dragons are on the move. 15 yards on the play. They got into the secondary there. They bypassed the linebacking crew of the Claymores, which is very solid. Brian Jones is a candidate for all World League honours. Ricky Andrews and Mark Sander, the outside guys. Sander, a real presence, the former Miami Dolphin. Brings a lot of depth and maturity. First down inside the red zone. They're at the 15-yard line, the Dragons. They give to Lindsey Chapman, who turns the corner and picks up 7 yards before he's tackled. Darrell Lewis in on the stop. So Demetrius Davis coming up with a first down on the previous play, has now caught a pass in 21 consecutive games.
And a nice block by Mo Elowanibi, leading Chapman to the hole there and opening it up for him.
A gain of 7 for Lindsey Chapman. Once again, they switch their two tight ends. Mickey and Davis switch from right to left. Second down and 3. They give to Ricky Blake, who meets a wall of Claymores led by Mark Sander and Troy Ridgely. James Spencer in there as well. So a defensive big play there by Darrell Lewis, the free safety. George Coghill is his safety partner. James Williams on one corner. Jocelyn Borgella, who's normally played at the other corner from the Detroit Lions, has gone home with a right knee injury. He won't be back this season. Darren Butler gets the start. Third down and 3 for the Dragons. Scoreless at Murrayfield. Barcelona threatening. Walker fakes, goes the other way. Incomplete. He was looking for the blocking tight end, Joey Mickey, but the big fella had no chance of getting that.
And Tim Brown had Joey Mickey there, although there was room to make the catch. You see what Barcelona's doing when they come out with that shift. They're looking to see if they can overpower one side of Scotland's line. It worked the first couple of times they did it, but they went to the well once too often on the third try.
Scott Zarady will attempt a 25-yard field goal. He's missed from 32. He's had a 52-yarder blocked, and that's it. His other 19 attempts have all been successful. He's had a great year. In fact, it'll be more like a 26-yarder. Kick on its way, no problem. It's straight, it's got the distance, and the Barcelona Dragons break out on top with 7:03 remaining in the first quarter. The Dragons ahead early.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've
I
come.
know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Unexpected guest has arrived.
Something unusual was reported entering our atmosphere last night.
And soon, everyone's life will be transformed.
What the hell is that?
A visitor, I presume.
It's looking for a home.
All I know is really you. If it's not, you know what to do.
The Puppet Masters.
This month on Direct Ticket.
Scott Zarady's 26-yard field goal puts the Dragons on top with 7 minutes left in the first quarter, capitalizing on the block punt. Chucky Johnson will not be taking any more action in the game. We'll give you an update on him in just a minute. De Graffenried fields at around his 5 is hit, and then nailed. Chris Crooms is in on the stop with some help. Joe Johnson was there, but Chucky Johnson will not see any more action this evening rather, possibly not for the rest of the season. He has a sprained right knee ligament.
And we talked about the kickoff coverage in Barcelona after giving up the big kick return touchdown to London last week, and they were down in their lanes that time, and they got a great kick from Zarady.
Confirmation of the scoring drive, 10 plays, 36 yards, 4.5 minutes. Marcus Thomas goes in motion on first down. They give to Stacey, they fake to Stacey, and over the middle and complete and running room. And Alan de Graffenried goes all the way to Barcelona's 43. The Dragons' problem of giving up the big pass coming back to haunt them there. Tracy Smith eventually making the stop, but the fake froze the Barcelona defensive secondary.
And that was the key to the play. It gave Blunden enough time to get the pass away, and he really tried to put it perfectly into de Graffenried's hands.
34 yards for Jim Kreiner's team on the pass. Brings up a first down for the Claymores in Barcelona territory. The pitch back doesn't fool anybody. Chris Crooms got great penetration along with Kevin O'Brien, and that's a big loss. Saran Stacey had no chance.
A great read by Chris Crooms, and O'Brien was coming, so he was there as well, and that's bad now because Claymores are going to have to put the ball up in the air on second down.
Chris Crooms, who hurt Scotland the first time these two met in week 2.
They started at free safety when Middleton was playing strong, but he actually prefers playing the strong.
A loss of 6. Brings up second down and long. They fake once again. Pressure comes. Blunden goes, gets a man. Complete. First down yardage. Once again, Tommy Thigpen on the stop. Lee Harris with the reception.
And you can see now Blunden again, the fake draw buys him the time he needs. They're doing these play actions because they respect that pass rush that Barcelona has. And Blunden's starting to throw with a little bit of authority there. He's got the arm to deliver those kind of passes on the money. Lee Harris running the first down pattern just over the first down marker.
Lee Harris, who's moved into the starting lineup ahead of Tim Barnett, who's gone very quiet. Movement on the line. Stace gets the call. Victor Hall comes up with the stop with some help from Juan Long. Not much doing there for Stacey.
Cannot block you. Let's go. And the Dragons are using the penetration from the end and the outside linebacker to try to force things, get into the backfield and make things happen. What it means, though, is that they've got less players back on the pass coverage.
This team loves to run the ball, averaging 110 yards on the ground. Blunden with a lot of time, spins one way, still got time, eventually goes over the middle, gets his outlet receiver. Keith Traylor on the stop. Saran Stacey got himself open.
Good looking stuff from Matt Blunden because he keeps his head here. They see him going back and he looks for his first receiver and doesn't have it, so he spins away from trouble, takes another look, and then sees the open man Stacey and delivers it. Good calm quarterbacking from Matt Blunden. Good job by Saran Stacey too.
Exactly. Saran Stacey, so important to this Claymore's offensive scheme. They load the left side, but Stacey goes right, breaks one tackle, and is pushed out of bounds. A flag comes in from the backfield. Sean Thomas eventually pushed him out of bounds, but a flag came in from the defensive backfield.
And Eric Turner, the cornerback, had come up really quickly to force Stacey in, but they missed the first tackle on the corner, and he got around.
But it goes against the Claymores, a hold. So that will come back. And how many times has Jim Kreiner seen this? When something good happens, something bad happens as well.
Holding, number 83 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
That's Dwayne Chandler, the tight end.
It's a tight end. He'll line up on the right of your screen. It's the top man on the line on the right. He's got the outside linebacker there, and he's just got a hold of it. You see Taylor comes up, and Marcus Thomas handles him. But there's Chandler wrestling the outside linebacker O'Brien down as O'Brien almost made the tackle.
So it's third down and long for the Claymores. Blunden gets good protection, but runs into Kevin O'Brien. Vic came in as well, and Blunden was nailed, and O'Brien is still looking for the ball, and the referees really should get in there and stop this. Totally unnecessary, that.
And the thing is, what you need is a couple of really loud whistles at that point, which we didn't have.
Well, O'Brien has been sick all week with a stomach bug, but there was no sign of that here.
Now watch O'Brien on the rush. Takes a tackle to the outside, but London now doesn't throw and moves into trouble. This is something he's done. He didn't do it last time he spun away. This time he starts looking sideways before he comes through.
So O'Brien coming in with a big play there. Started off the season so well, but teams started to wise up to him a little bit, and they respected his pass rush ability. The high snap once again. The last punt was blocked. This time they leave it alone. And a little dump takes a favourable bounce as far as the Dragons are concerned, and is down at around the 11-yard line.
And you see Kevin O'Brien there, and I think Horace Morris will be able to tell Gary something about the way defenses will start keying on you when they realize that you're the guy who can make trouble on that pass rush.
Well, both these two teams hoping to go to the World Bowl against the Amsterdam Admirals. The date has been set. The town has been set. It's in Amsterdam on Saturday, June the 17th. A 6:30 Central European time kickoff. Amsterdam against who knows? Will it be one of these two teams? Will it be the Rhine Fire, Frankfurt Galaxy, or the London Monarchs? That second place still very much up for grabs. First down, Walker fakes, swing pass, and not much doing there. Brian Jones came over and stopped Ricky Blake pretty quickly there. A pickup of maybe a yard at best.
And Walker didn't have anything downfield and did a good job of just checking off to Ricky Blake, who was waiting there for the ball.
And they're giving him a couple of yards on the completion. Ricky Blake.
This Barcelona offensive line has given Jay Walker a lot of time to throw in the last 2 or 3 games.
Tyree Davis is wide left. Walker drops, gets pressure, steps up, gets a man complete straight over the middle to the 32-yard line. Mario Henry with the pickup. George Coghill came up from safety to make the stop.
And when Jay Walker gets the time to see these guys, he can deliver the ball on the cut. And you'll see Henry cutting over from the left side of your screen in the middle. Walker delivers it there, right in the seam between the two defenders. First down, Barcelona.
To the 32. 17 yards on the completion. They give to Ricky Blake. Blake tries to pick up some running room up the middle. Doesn't get a lot. What a key battle this is going to be. Barcelona's #1 ranked running game against the Claymores' #1 ranked rush defense.
And what Ricky Blake has been able to do is to break the occasional run for big yardage. He'll get the 2 or the 3, but then he's gone for 30 or 40 in almost every game he's played.
The London Monarchs remember him in the first game. A 29-yard touchdown run, his longest of the season. Second down and long. Walker goes, and his man was Tyree Davis, who wasn't quite ready. The ball thrown before Davis was expecting it.
I think Davis may have misread the play that Walker called at the line of scrimmage. He came out and saw that the Claymores had 8 defenders up on the line of scrimmage, so he checked off for a quick pass play, knowing that Davis would be one-on-one up there. Davis may not have read the right pattern.
Third down, big third down coming up for the Dragons, who lead by 3 late first quarter. Walker gets time, goes over the middle. Joey Mickey comes up short of first down yardage. Darrell Lewis came up from safety to make the hit. So Cowboy Jack's offensive scheme not quite going according to plan just at the moment.
And when you think that Scotland's defensive end pair, Brandon and Young, at the start of the season were probably regarded as the best in the league and certainly the best pass rushing pair, they've been quiet so far.
Scott Zarady will get it off. High, spiraling, shallow punt for fair catch is called for at the 27-yard line by Saran Stacey. So the Claymores, with 8 seconds left in the first quarter, will get the ball trailing by 3 points. We're talking to Jack Bicknell at breakfast this morning, he was saying, we'd like to establish the run if we can. If the Claymores don't give us the run, we won't try and run against them, because you can't.
That's right, but he's got the passing game to be able to go short and long with Walker's arm and with Demetrius Davis, Joey, Mickey, Stacy out of the backfield. He's got guys who can catch the ball. Ricky Blake out of the backfield, not Stacy. Be an interesting trick if Stacy could come out of the backfield for the Dragons.
I think the Dragons would like him. 1st and 10, Claymores. Got a couple of missions on their previous drive. The give is to Stacy. A flag comes down in the Claymores backfield. Stacy breaks a couple of tackles, picks up around 13 yards. But that flag in the Scottish Claymores backfield may not be good news for them, and that's the end of the first quarter.
You're going to see another holding call, just like on the sweep they ran at the other end of the field a couple of minutes ago.
Illegal motion, number 33.
Well,
5-yard penalty.
Eric Lindstrom and I both thought he was being held on the corner of the line there, but that's not what the call was.
The call goes against Lorenzo Graham. That is the end of the quarter. The Claymores have the ball, but the Dragons have the lead, 3-0.
While NFL action is still months away, the NFL has launched a new season on the internet. NFL Sidelines is an online connection to your favorite teams and players. Connect on the net with NFL fans around the world and chat live with the biggest names in football.
This movie is rated R.
Plus special coverage of the 1995 World League season. The NFL moves into cyberspace with NFL Sidelines. Tackle the internet.
Take a deep breath. Count to 10. And get ready.
What is going on here?
To take the fall. Charlie Sheen.
Are you out of your mind? Yes! Yes, I am!
Nastasha Kinski.
How do you stop this thing?
Terminal Velocity.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket.
So encouraging signs for the Claymores offensively. They've completed a couple of big passes, but still misfiring too often, and a couple of costly penalties. 1st down and long. Blundin almost picked off. That was close. Tracy Smith smelt his 3rd interception of the year. Blundin almost threw his 11th.
And 2 things on this, Nick. Watch the way Blundin watches his receiver all the way. He's looking, and then watch the way he tries to put the ball in perfectly, which means it hangs up in the air. That's an interception ball, and almost caught it as a result of that. But Tracy Smith was nearly gone.
Well, interceptions really not much of a feature of Barcelona's secondary last couple of games. That's all down to Mike Middleton's absence. Blundin goes over the top looking for Alan de Graffenried. That, not a catchable ball. Sean Thomas was there on coverage. That'll bring up 3rd on a bunch for the Claymores.
And Middleton's absence did a couple of things. One is he did a great job at strong safety and was overplaying tight ends, which gave them a lot of freedom there. Chris Crooms did a tremendous job at the free safety spot. He discovered he had a lot of movement, good anticipation, and they were getting interceptions from both of their safeties.
Blundin, who is 4 of 7 for 67 yards so far, faces a big play now. 3rd down and 15. Blundin gets a lot of protection, rolls out to his right, looks, he overthrows de Graffenried, who got a step ahead of Tracy Smith. De Graffenried had no chance of picking that one up.
And you'll see de Graffenried runs a deep pattern. He actually had Chandler on the bottom of the screen open at one point, but didn't see him. So de Graffenried signaling that he can try to get open there, and Blundin basically throwing that one away, which was the smart thing to do at that point.
3 and out for the Scottish Claymores. Sean Conley to punt. Not happy punting. 1 blocked already. Shelby Hill almost got a piece of that one. Fielded by Tyree Davis at midfield, and Davis gets nothing. And in fact is pushed back 6 yards. Eventually James Spencer coming up and making the stop.
And we've really got a matchup here of league's best offense, league's best defense on rushing Claymores and the Dragons. You see it right there. Number 1 rushing defense against the number 1 rushing offense. Number 2 total defense against the top total offense. And the amazing thing is with those numbers that both those teams are down the bottom of the standings.
Both these teams should be winning teams. turnovers are the key in both cases. And neither of them, it's fair to say, have had much luck all season. First down for Barcelona, leading by 3. They have pretty good field position after that punt from Conley over the top, and that another potential interception there. These two quarterbacks a little bit shaky at the moment. Darren Butler, number 21, almost got a piece of that.
And give Alan Young some credit on that one, because it was his pressure that forced Jay Walker to rush the pass. You'll see Young coming in on the bottom of your screen, 94. And Walker gets it away, but gets it high and nearly picked off.
Second down and 10 for the Barcelona Dragons. Walker 5 of 9 so far. Both quarterbacks hot and cold. Movement, all sorts of action on the line. Flags everywhere, 4 of them down on the field. And it's that old decision. Did they move or were they drawn?
Enough flags for an Armistice Day parade there.
Encroachment, number 95,
Tyree
defense,
Davis was about
5-yard
yards
penalty,
downfield.
repeat second down.
But it goes against the Scottish Claymores.
Now watch the right side. Right there, there's the offside. He makes the contact, and then everybody starts moving as a result of that. No question, Mike Brandon offside.
Mike Brandon, drafted by the Colts. Got the talent to go back into the NFL. Mickey and Davis both switch to the left side of the line. And they stay on the ground. Ricky Blake, who looks to turn the corner and picks up 2 or 3 yards before he's bundled out of bounds. Corris Irvin, number 29, the former London Monarch, came up and made the tackle.
And again, what they did on the shift was they then count the number of defenders who are there and run the running play at the short side. What the Claymores do is then stunt the linebackers, and they've got the defensive backs coming up quickly, anticipating the run.
So Ricky Blake will rip off big yardage sooner or later. Walker on 3rd and 3, fires, gets a man, complete to Mario Henry. Darren Butler on the stop, but it's another Dragons first down.
Little first down pattern to Mario Henry, and those are the ones that you've got to catch. Just coming a little bit over the middle, and a quick throw from Jay Walker.
Walker and Henry know each other pretty well. Both of them come to Barcelona from the New England Patriots.
And you saw Chris Perez in the line. We don't mention him very much. 77, the big tackle. He's the all-purpose fill-in for that Barcelona line.
A first down after the pickup from Henry. Walker looks straight away to his right, gets a man. Tyree Davis breaks one tackle, picks up close to first down yardage, pushed out of bounds by Darren Butler. And Jay Walker's enjoying it out there.
Now watch Tyree Davis walking the sideline here after the catch. Beginning of the season, Bicknell said he had 2 receivers, Davis and Henry, he thought were better than anybody in the World League the first 2 years. Nice move by Tyree Davis. It's up in front of those sticks.
Got past Tim Brown, got the first down.
And of course, as you say, Walker's going to be throwing to Mario Henry for a long time up in New England.
Walker is wide right, or Davis rather is wide right. They stay on the ground, but not much doing there at all for Ricky Blake. Alan Young read that. Darrell Lewis came up from secondary. And Blake may have got back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Barcelona's offensive line is giving Walker time to throw, but they're not getting that firing out that they were getting against London, against the defensive line. They're being stacked up there by this Claymore's line.
It's a real battle in the trenches. An outstanding offensive line against an outstanding defensive line. This game could be won and lost right there. Second down, and again, all sorts of jumping around, flags from all over the field. Gerald Jeffcoat, number 99, pointing at the Barcelona offensive line.
I think it was Ed King, the left guard, who was going back to pass block before the snap.
False start, number 64, offense prior to the snap.
That is indeed Ed King,
penalty,
the former Cleveland Brown
down.
and Green Bay Packer, 31 NFL starts.
And you'll see, Ed, he's right in the middle of your screen there. He's moving, he's ready. Hey guys, what happened to the rest of you?
So the flags go back into pockets. That's Barcelona's first flag. Scotland have picked up a couple of expensive ones that hurt earlier drives. Jim Priner looking for his second win of the season. How close this team has been to being one of the best in the World League, if not the best.
I think one of the things the London Monarchs can tell you is one of the ways you have to be the best is to avoid mistakes. And the key to their win in Barcelona last week was no turnovers.
And Brad Johnson had a very effective game at quarterback for the Monarchs. Possibly his best day of the season. Walker on second and long, drops, fires to his favourite receiver. And it's not his favourite receiver, it's Tyree Davis this time. Number 82, who was pushed out of bounds by James Williams.
Tyree Davis would be my favourite receiver. He catches it if it's thrown to him. Does another good sidelines pattern. Knows he's going to get hit as he makes the catch and makes it.
It helps if you call Davis in this Barcelona offensive scheme. There's Tyree catches the long ones. There's Demetrius, the H-back, catches the short stuff.
Tyree had 39 coming into this game, and Demetrius had 38.
Mario Henry, he's had to settle for 23 catches. And the Claymores show blitz. Flags everywhere once again, and is that Barcelona offensive line getting the jitters?
Chris Perez this time. All I had to do was mention him, and there it went.
And he messed up. The curse of Carlson.
Nobody touched him! Nobody touched him!
Pointing. Let's see if the officials are buying that story.
We have a neutral zone infraction on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
The kidology didn't work. The officials not buying all the showboating from the Claymores, so it goes against Scotland.
And sometimes you can just do too much trying to draw that offense offside, and that's what the call is.
There are the two Davises, unrelated, both of them very effective. Tyree, the long stuff, he leads the World League in touchdowns. Demetrius still looking for his first touchdown of the year. Had one against London last week and dropped it in the end zone.
And fumbled on that last, next to the last drive for Barcelona. It wasn't Demetrius' best game against London because he's a Monarch killer.
First down, the give is to Ricky Blake on the draw play, who may have picked up only a yard. The Scottish Claymores holding firm on the ground. Brian Jones, the middle linebacker, got some help, number 53.
And the game going to form. The best rushing defense is stopping the best rushing attack in the league right now.
Although Jack Bicknell said that he won't run on this team if he doesn't think they can do it. I wonder if they're softening him up, softening the Claymores up for a deep pass. This is certainly well into Jay Walker's range at the 20-yard line. He can drop it through the end zone from there. Complete, first down, Mario Henry.
And Walker sensed that the linebackers were coming and he got rid of the ball quickly to Henry for the first down. A good read by Jay Walker just off the quick three-step drop.
And this has been an impressive drive. They're deep into the red zone, which is the opponent's 20-yard line. And when they get there, they score 30% of the time, as you can see. I'd like that to be a little bit more effective. It's first and goal from the 8-yard line. And this has been a good drive from the Dragons, but they'll be looking to punch it in here. They fake the handoff. Blake with trouble. Mike Brandon's after him. And it's tipped away, broken up in the end zone. Brandon put some pressure on Jay Walker, who couldn't throw the way he wanted to.
That was always going to be a tough one to complete because you're trying to hit the man at the back of the end zone with a lot of white jerseys between you and him. But the play action doesn't do what they wanted because Brandon's there. And as we've seen with London, sometimes you've got these quick defensive ends. It doesn't give the quarterback lots of time. So he puts it into the back of the end zone, but that's going to, as I said, it's going to be a tough one to complete because look at that, 4 defensive backs gathering underneath it.
But it's still second and goal. Barcelona ahead by 3, looking for more. Walker gives to Blake on the draw play, who bounces out towards the 5-yard line. George Coghill came up from strong safety. That'll bring up third and goal from around the 6-yard line, and Blake comes up limping, and this could be trouble for Barcelona, who only have 2 running backs on their roster.
That's right. Lindsey Chapman's the next guy down, and after him there's nobody. They probably have to go to one of their defensive backs, Todd Farrell, and bring him in as a running back.
Well, concern here for Jack Bicknell. Ricky Blake.
Now we got some real
shoulders
problems.
such a load. Still limping around, still in the huddle, getting some attention, and he's going to be brought out of the game, and he's limping very heavily, Ricky Blake. Jack Bicknell, offensive coordinator Dick Cole there. This is not what they want to see.
Ricky Blake had a lot of room to run on that draw play too. Nicely executed.
Ricky Blake started off in the World League 4 years ago in San Antonio. This is what he's done this season for Barcelona, and when he doesn't do it, Lindsey Chapman does. But if that injury is serious, Chapman's going to have to do it all on his own.
And Chapman, a very different kind of runner from Ricky Blake, as their sizes would lead you to think. Ricky Blake about 6'2" and about 240, and Chapman 5'9" and 208. Chapman's low to the ground. He's got good, quick acceleration. He squirms through the holes.
Ricky Blake owns a string of racehorses back home in Tennessee, 24 of them. The fellow who started his career in the San Antonio Riders of the World League 4 years ago, and then went on to play for the Dallas Cowboys for a couple of seasons till injury forced him out.
Now the question is, he only needed 22 yards to set a club season rushing record coming into the game. Has he gotten the 22 yet?
That's possibly not uppermost in his mind just at the moment. 3rd and goal from the 5.
I take it that's a no.
Walker drops, flushed out of the pocket, rolls to his right, pressure comes, Walker unloads, and it's broken up in the end zone once again. Brian Jones had the pressure, and it was batted away by Darren Butler, number 21, and some pushing and shoving there involving George Coghill and Tyree Davis, but Walker once again getting the pressure.
And you see Walker doesn't have anybody to throw to, and then the pressure comes on. They even had Joey Mickey back pass blocking for him. So he tries to get it to Davis. It's tipped away by Darren Butler, and then Davis and George Coghill have a small discussion on the relative strengths of pass attack against pass defense.
It'll be another chip shot for Zarady. That one close to the right hand upright, but through safely. So the Dragons fail once again to get in to the end zone. They settle for yet another Scott Zarady field goal, and they lead the Claymores 6-0.
Abilities are on the sideline. If I want or need any information from up above, I can always get it from my assistant coach on the sideline that's got a headset on. But when I go into a game, I want to be totally prepared on each and every situation that I'm confronted with, and I don't want interference or listening to what somebody else thinks.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
There's a place near you where the mountain climbers never touch the ground, where the bodies are made of iron and the bikes of titanium alloy. It's Performance Bicycle Shop with over 6,000 square feet of high-tech cycling gear. But if you go, bring a stump-jumping spirit and your Visa card. Because at Performance, they take cycling to the extreme, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Boys will be boys. Girls will be girls. They'll all be rascals. From the director of Wayne's World and the Beverly Hillbillies.
Why am I soaking wet? I used to have the same problem.
The Little Rascals. Playing this month on Direct Ticket.
Barcelona leading the Claymores 6-0, and Scott Zarady has put all those points on the board and has set a new World League record for a single season. 21 field goals made out of 23, and he's only actually missed one. A 52-yarder was blocked. This fella has done an outstanding job for the Barcelona Dragons. But you get the feeling that Jack Bicknell would have liked to have put one of those drives into the end zone.
It's been the same in a lot of games. It was the same against London last week. They get down there and they have to settle for field goals.
So here we go. Jim Kreiner was talking to Ben Torriero, one of the Scottish special teamers, just before this kickoff. Torriero, number 44 there, is ahead of de Graffenried, who runs into a bunch of trouble. John Brown, number 39, nailing him at around the 23-yard line.
And Ben Torriero's the middle guy in that second row of three, and he's the one who basically has to set the wedge for the guys in the back.
One of the national players on this team, Darren Chapman, John Leatham, Gerald Colquhoun, Scott Cooper, Andy Meikle, Paul Balfour are the national players. Cooper got 3 catches last week against Amsterdam. And Darren Chapman, they say, is improving all the time. So the Claymores, down by 6, start off on their own 24-yard line. And the pitch back goes to Saran Stacey, who gets first down yardage and a bunch over the 40-yard line before he was pulled down. Great turn of speed there from Stacey.
And not a bad turn of speed from Big Tom Scott either. That was the old student body right. They had the whole line pulling right and leading Stacey through the hole, and they just overwhelmed Barcelona on that side. There's Big
Tom Scott. He doesn't open up holes. He opens up huge caverns. The 400-pounder, the biggest player in the World League. They also have one of the smallest in Scott Cooper, who claims to be 165 pounds, but I don't believe that. More play action, and Blundin with a lot of time, but doesn't fool Victor Hall, who comes down and nails him.
And the question is basically, how much time did Matt Blundin think he would have on that play? You see, he's looking now, he doesn't have a receiver open, and now he realizes he's going to be in trouble, and he doesn't run and he doesn't pass.
So Victor Hall getting past the block of Hisham Ismail, who couldn't hold him up forever.
And Victor Hall, who was a tight end in college and was playing arena football last year, he was cut from the Dragons, and they needed a defensive end. They said, hey, didn't you play both ways in arena?
Victor Hall's 5th sack of the year, a loss of 6. Blundin goes over the middle and it bounces off the fingers of Alan de Graffenried, which has been a recurring theme in the Scottish Claymores passing attack all season.
And over the middles where you've got to make the catches. Let's say Blundin now. You see he's got 3 outlet guys short. De Graffenried, it's a little bit behind him and he's got to turn and he gets hit as he's doing it. Tough catch to make if he'd made it.
Ricky Blake has a twisted left ankle. It's painful, it's not serious. He may return later. That's the good news for the Dragons. 3rd down and long. 8:42 left. First half. Blundin, there's pressure coming. Blundin evades the first guy, gets it off, and it's short of first down yardage by about 3 yards. Tracy Smith pushing de Graffenried out of bounds.
And Blundin did a nice job of reading the pressure that time, was able to give himself time to throw, but the receiver short of first down yardage. You saw O'Brien was pushed to the inside, but they still got the outside rush from the back. Nice catch by de Graffenried, keeping the feet in bounds. You only need 1 in the World League, but he had an NFL 2 on that one.
I think most of these receivers seem to be going for the 2 feet. No point in breaking that habit. Sean Conley gets off a kick which Tyree Davis lets bounce over his head, and it takes an unfortunate bounce for the Claymores into the end zone. David Wilson couldn't quite get a hold of it, which means Barcelona will take over at their own 20-yard line. This a game both teams have to win. Good punt from Sean Conley. Incidentally, after this, Barcelona go to Ryan. Ryan, the surprise packages of the second half of the season so far, and they finish against Frankfurt. So Barcelona don't have it easy after this.
And how big was that game that Ryan beat Frankfurt, where Frankfurt had the chance to tie, went for the 2-point conversion, and then wound up losing?
Well, Scotland, they too still have their chances. They have to win this one. That's absolutely essential. First down for the Dragons, leading by 6, looking for more. Walker looks for Tyree Davis, can't get him. There was good coverage there from James Williams. So the Claymores need to win here and hope for a miracle, and they need to keep on winning. They host Frankfurt here next weekend, and then they finish up with one they'll be well fired up for against the London Monarchs.
Which could be a crucial game for the London Monarchs.
Wouldn't these Claymores love to keep the Monarchs at home if they could? second down and long, spread formation, or 2nd and 10 spread formation. They go once again to the left, but Shelby Hill can't hang on. James Williams there again.
And that was a nicely thrown ball. It led Shelby Hill perfectly, but went off his fingertips. Really well delivered by Jay Walker. And one thing you wonder is why they've gotten out of the Demetrius Davis H-back role. They've been going with 3 wideouts and Joey Mickey at tight end by himself for the last couple of series.
But now Mickey is now in the backfield. I'll give you the reason for that in a minute on 3rd down. Barcelona have problems offensively. 3rd and 10. Walker drops back, gets some pressure, fires, broken up. Great play there from George Coghill. In fact, Mark Sander, number 54, the former Miami Dolphin, and they had to pass there because a strained knee has forced Lindsey Chapman out of the game. With Ricky Blake's left ankle problem, they don't have a recognized running back. Joey Mickey's in the backfield
Joey
now.
Mickey went back for pass blocking, and Sander did a great job of coverage. He had Demetrius Davis and went downfield with him. It's not often a linebacker stays with Demetrius Davis.
So here's a punting situation for Barcelona. Zeradi. It's a nice high spiral, fair catch called for and made, but a flag is down. That's taken by Saran Stacey at around his own 37-yard line.
Looked like movement by Shelby Hill on the left side for Barcelona, so they'll probably have to kick it again.
Bad news for Barcelona.
Illegal motion at the snap. It should be Shelby Hill.
Now, do you take the field position or do you gamble and go for it again? Make the Dragons push them back 5 yards.
Illegal motion.
And make them kick it again.
Number 39 offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
The call is against John Brown, number 39. Another one that Jack Bicknell doesn't like.
Punt, because they got a good punt away. It was fair caught. They didn't have a return. Now you've got the danger of a block and the danger of a return again.
And Zeradi is standing on his own goal line now. Not as effective punting. He's just under 32 yards net average, which is not the kind of numbers that are going to have the NFL scouts beating a path to his door. But his kicking, a very different story. But this is not his strong suit. Zeradi gets it off, and it's going to be fielded at around midfield. Saran Stacey calls for a fair catch at the 46, so it's almost a carbon copy of the previous one, but the Claymores get the ball 5 yards further up.
You have to have the talent. You've got to have the size, the speed, the talent to compete. The thing that you really can't measure is the heart. And then the other thing that you have to be made aware of as soon as you can is his ability to learn, to execute the detail of his assignment in a pressure situation.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Hey, 49er fans. Your team just completed a record-breaking season. Player of the Year Steve Young and Jerry Rice paced the league's best offense, while Deion Sanders tightened up the D. Together, they won an unprecedented 5th Super Bowl. So, 49er fans, what do you do for an encore? The official 49ers championship video is available now.
From the imagination of Tim Burton comes the incredible true story.
Action!
How do you turn this on?
Shake his legs around. Looks like he's killing you. We're making another movie. I got the Church of Beverly Hills to put up the cash. Grave robbers from outer space.
Grave robbers from what?
Johnny Depp, Martin Landau, Sarah Jessica Parker, Patricia Arquette, and Bill Murray.
How do you get all your friends to get baptized just so you can make a monster movie?
Ed Wood, playing on DirecTV.
Well, the smart decision there was to keep it on the ground, but not much doing and all kinds of pushing and shoving. You get the feeling there's a little bit of bad blood between these two teams.
And if there isn't now, there soon will be. You saw the linebackers coming up and taking their stunt routes there with stuff that running play right for a gain. Actually, they got a couple of yards out of it on second effort.
will bring up a 2nd and 7. Matt Blundin has completed 5 of 10 for 80 yards so far in the game. Both starting quarterbacks in through the second quarter. Movement on the line, and a flag comes in late. Saran Stacey gets a first down. Certainly Byron Bonds, number 90 for the Dragons, was encroaching. But whether that's going to go against him or whether he was drawn, we'll have to wait and see. It's a first down if it stands.
Offsides, number 90 on the defense. That penalty is refused.
And you think Byron Bonds may be just having a little bit of problem reading the play from the end spot. Is normally a nose tackle. He's moved out to left end because basically Traylor rather would play the right end.
So they're banged up, these Barcelona Dragons. Chucky Johnson out for the game.
And you see Bonds just starting his rush a little bit too early.
First down after the run from Stacey. More play action. The pressure from Blundin, and it's batted away. Eric Lindstrom and Joe Johnson putting the heat on Blundin.
And Bonds got a good rush from the left end on that one. And there's a big difference from the way you come from the end spot and the nose tackle. You got to get your momentum up from the end. Again, we can go back to Horace Morris and he can tell us all about that momentum, but it's something Byron Bonds isn't used to doing as a nose tackle.
2nd down and 10. Barcelona leading, but they have problems. A lot of injuries to talk about. They stay on the ground, and great line blocking there. Some good running room, and the Barcelona defensive front just unable to stand up there, and Saran Stacey got some good yardage. You get the feeling, fellas back in the studio, that if Scotland are going to win this, it's going to be on the ground. That's right, they stay on the ground once again. That's going to be another first down, and Saran Stacey working behind Tom Scott that time. And if you're a running back, you're looking for a guy like Tom Scott to run behind all the time.
Yeah, well, no one can see you when you run behind Tom Scott. That's the big advantage. And Horace, can you just talk a little bit about the rhythm that you get into trying to anticipate on your rush? Do you think it's harder for Byron Bonds from that end spot?
Second down and 7 for the Claymores. Tom Scott we saw checking out of the line up there. Blundin fires, gets Stacey. And Stacey breaks one tackle, picks up a first down to the 15-yard line, eventually tackled by Sean Thomas and Todd Farrell, but that play was all Saran Stacey.
And you're going to see Blundin look for Stacey coming out of the backfield quickly and get the ball to him. Now Eric Turner's comes, sorry, that's 27, Todd Farrell comes up. And that is some little move by Stacey there. Turner comes up and makes the tackle the second time, but he's vaulting over that first down marker.
An imaginary fence in Saran Stacey's way there. Didn't stop him getting a first down. The pitch back is to Stacey. Kevin O'Brien after him. Stacey beat him, but doesn't get a lot there. Victor Hall stayed at home. Juan Long was there too. Jack Bicknell's defense.
We go one!
Bending, but so far they haven't broken.
Good linebacker play because O'Brien came up and forced him a little inside, and Juan Long came over to make the tackle. What was it, Foynaven who went over at the ground? Devin Locke.
A touch of the Devin Locks about Saran Stacey there.
Going over the hurdle that isn't there.
Stacey takes a well-earned breather. He's done all the work on the ground so far for the Scottish Claymores, who also have Marcus Thomas, Lorenzo Graham and Joe Mickles they can turn to. But they take a timeout. Matt Blundin will check in with the sideline with his head coach,
This
Jim
guy's
Crime.
gotta
We
have
see
a
Tom
second.
Scott checking out of the lineup
You know, by the
earlier
time
on.
they
He
said it,
hasn't
no,
played for a year and a
yeah.
half, and they reckon he can go no more than 2/3 of the game before he's pretty well
Well, it's probably a good idea to try to keep him fresh for the whole game and not wear him out early. I tell you, he's moving pretty well for a big guy.
He does. Next week, big one for London. Who can stop Amsterdam? Will it be London? They better if they want to go to the World Bowl. That's next Saturday. A game you'll be able to see on Sky Sports, of course. Ryan Fire entertain the Barcelona Dragons, and then on Sunday the Scottish Claymores will be up against the Frankfurt Galaxy here in Murrayfield. We'll have highlights of that one for you on Sky Sports as well.
If any team goes 4-1, obviously second half of the season they're going to win it, but it's more likely you're going to have 2 or maybe 3 teams finishing at 3-2 and go to tiebreakers. Every game really important at this point. It's a good system in this kind of a league where you get off to a quick start without a whole lot of training, because a team that comes alive in the second half of the season does have a good shot.
Second down and 10. Lorenzo Graham in the backfield, and it's touchdown Scotland. Matt Blundin threaded the needle, and Alan de Graffenried came up with a big one. And judging by the reaction from some of these fans, you think they just won the World Bowl.
And look at de Graffenried. He didn't take a hit on that one. He's got earth on the helmet.
Sean Conley will attempt the point to put the Claymores ahead. They lead it 7-6 after Blundin's 16-yard pass to Alan de Graffenried. And that's the first rush passing touchdown that the Claymores have scored in something like 5 games.
And Blundin does a nice job of standing in against the rush. In fact, I think it was Lindstrom rushing who nearly blocks the pass. Now watch, he looks left and gets rid of it. You saw Lindstrom jumping there and hits de Graffenried perfectly in the chest. Nicely thrown ball. De Graffenried takes it in the air. Nice safe hand, safe catch, and a good touchdown. A big one for the Scottish Claymores.
Their first passing touchdown since week 3. They've had 5 since, all of them from Sir Ann Stacey. But Alan de Graffenried enjoyed that one. It's been a long time coming.
And we looked at that Scottish Claymores passing attack early in the season, in fact out of the training camps in Georgia, and said Blundin's got an arm, Williamson's not a bad quarterback, and in de Graffenried and Barnett, he's got good wideouts.
That was the theory. The practice hasn't quite worked out that way. They've had all sorts of problems on the offensive line, this team. Just one guy that's been there from the start. Of 7 offensive linemen they had in camp, only Tim Ryan is still with them. You can't win with an offensive line that's shuffled every week.
And sometimes it just becomes a matter of confidence and rhythm. You just get out of it, your passing attack's going nowhere, and things just don't work right.
9 plays, 54 yards, 3:31 remaining in the first half. Tyree Davis fields at around his own 10. Tries to go one way, tries to go the other, still on his feet, but there's nothing doing there, and he's eventually smashed down. Corris Irvin, number 29, stood him up. Lorenzo Graham finished him off. And Ben Torriero was in the thick of that as well, number 44, the former Harrogate Hawk. A real special teams star, this fella. Let's take a look at him in action.
And it's second effort by Torriero because he gets met by Eric Lindstrom well up the field. Straight in. Henry gives him 2 good hits, 3. A real momentum stopper for Scotland.
Now the Dragons with a first down. This team has problems. No running backs, and that's tipped and batted away, and nothing doing there for Jay Walker, and the Claymores know this team has to throw the ball now. And what a huge advantage that gives you defensively. Mike Brandon got great penetration there.
Watch on the right side of your screen where Brandon's going to come from, and he just gets the hand up. He's still being blocked by Bradley, but he gets the hand up and blocks the ball.
Mike Brandon with the Cardinals last season. 2nd down and 10 for the struggling Barcelona Dragons. Walker drops back to pass again, goes high upstairs looking for Tyree Davis. Darren Butler was there.
And the thing with Darren Butler is he's the fastest guy on the team, and they thought coverage-wise he was a lot quicker than Borgella, but Borgella compensates for that with hard hitting, and we just saw some hard hitting from Darren Butler there.
Darren Butler was taken in the 23rd round of the draft by the Claymores and then released. But when Borgella went home, he was the logical replacement. 3rd down for a Barcelona offense that's basically ground to a halt. And Demetrius Davis felt the heat from Brian Jones and couldn't hang on, and it's 1, 2, 3 and out again for the Barcelona Dragons. This team's in trouble. There is a flag down. Davis now comes up limping. And if he's hurt, that'll be the 4th Dragon needing medical attention on the sidelines. This flag could be important. If it's against Barcelona, it'll be declined.
Holding, number 76, offense. That penalty is refused. 4th down.
Bradley's the right tackle now, playing against Mike Brandon, the left defensive end. Right there on the right of your screen, 76. Joey Mickey goes out on the pass pattern, and there he is, wrestling him down by the neck. Not much question on that call.
Serradi will get rid of it. Low kick. Takes a hop at around midfield to the 40 and no further. Down at the 40-yard line, but the Scottish Claymores have good field position. But Barcelona, since losing their 2 running backs, they've tried 6 passes, all of them incomplete.
And it's tough when the team's laying back and they know you've got to pass. It makes it tough to throw the ball. And how fired up now were the Claymores on that defensive series. Great kickoff coverage, 3 good plays defensively. The momentum's all Scotland's way.
Jack Bicknell is probably thinking, well, what else can go wrong?
It's been that kind of season for Cowboy Jack.
3 awful losses, all of which could have been wins. And the rain falling here at Murrayfield, and it's falling on Jack Bicknell and the Barcelona Dragons at the moment. No running backs healthy for the Dragons. And the Claymores have the lead. They also have Siran Stacey, who is having an inspired game. 4 yards. Vladimir Illich, number 74, the German, coming in and making the stop there.
And again, Stacey stopped at the line of scrimmage, but second effort gets him the extra 4 yards.
Barcelona got most of those yards, in fact all of those yards, when they had a couple of healthy running backs. Scotland are starting to put the pressure on Cowboy Jack now.
And with the rain, you'd want to keep the ball on the ground as well. It's another bad factor for the Dragons.
London drops, gets a lot of time, just dumps it off. Stacey having a huge gain, goes out of bounds, stops the clock at around the Barcelona 36, and all the momentum now is with the Claymores.
And Matt London looking downfield, but it almost looks like he's going to go to his safety valve, Stacey, right from the start. And there's Stacey. He's beating the linebackers through. On long, the middle linebacker had the coverage. And Stacey just going out of bounds. He's running, he's catching, and he's carrying the ball.
And does the smart thing stepping out of bounds there, because he's taking a pounding on every play. Why take one unnecessarily? First down, the Claymores, they stay on the ground, on the draw play. Siran Stacey will pick up another 3 or 4 yards. And that is the 2-minute warning. Everything going the Claymores' way at the moment. They lead it 7-6. We'll be back in just a moment.
Pass. And then as the play unfolds, you follow it. If it's a running play, you go to the point of attack, knowing what we have to get done in order to make the play successful. If it's a pass play, as the quarterback goes back, then I immediately transfer my attention to the coverage down the field, because the coverage then dictates what the quarterback does with the football.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
June 2nd on Direct Ticket, the Conquistadores arrive. Miguel Angel Gonzalez defends his title for the 8th time. 21-year-old champion Alejandro Gonzalez makes his East Coast debut. Undefeated Marco Antonio Barrera makes his first title defense. Hector Acero Sanchez faces #1 contender Daniel Zaragoza. Los Conquistadores, Friday, June 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern on Channel 101 for only $19.95, live on Direct Ticket.
Welcome back. 1:59 to go. First half. Scotland leading Barcelona by a point, but they have the ball, and Saran Stacey is a one-man wrecking crew out there. 110 yards total offense. The rest of the team's 79. I think that stat right there illustrates the importance of Saran Stacey to this Claymore team.
They've said all season he's the guy who they've got to get the ball to. The question was, how could you do it? And if you gave it to him running with the line open holes for him.
Second down and 6. Blundin drops to pass, gets the pressure, looks for the screen. They've got it set up. Stacey, though, is nailed. Keith Traylor, number 75, came back and flattened him. A flag is down.
And one of the things you can try to do when you see the screen is to put so much pressure on the quarterback that you force him to float that pass and give your guys time to get the coverage, which is exactly what happened there.
Keith Traylor came up and made a great play, but that one's going against the Claymores anyway. The pressure really on this Barcelona defense now. They know their offense is hobbling. Just a one-dimensional attack now for the Dragons, with both their running backs currently sidelined.
Illegal block in the back. Number 64, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
I think 64, Tim Ryan, not 74, was the guy who called for blocking in the back. Let's see if we can see him now. He should be on the bottom of the screen as we go. Tim Ryan, 64, the center. Just gets Farrell from behind. Just a little nudge from the back. Illegal block. You can't block someone from behind. There's the flag.
So that brings up a second down and 16. Ryan, Notre Dame, drafted by the Buccaneers back in 1991. Blundin, second and long, gets some pressure from Traylor, gets it off to Stacey, who's met by Farrell and is run out of bounds without getting back to the original line of scrimmage. At least he's got a souvenir.
Stacey, that's a triple threat there.
That's what's called moving the chains.
Now here comes Stacey out of the backfield, right into the pass pattern. Farrell, the 5th defensive back, has the coverage, but he's a step behind, so Stacey gets the catch, but he wraps him up here, so Stacey decides he's going to take the chains with him and then do a little hurdling of the advertising hoardings as well.
Third down and 11 for the Claymores, 1:44 left, first half. Blundin drops back to pass, has a lot of time, goes for Alan de Graffenried again, nothing doing there. Coverage from Eric Turner, but that ball simply not catchable.
Yeah, not catchable, and I guess he was half trying to throw it away, but he had receivers down the other side of the field if he looked for them, and it looked like he did have more time to throw.
So out comes the punting unit once again. Just wonder, Mike, is this fake punt territory?
I'd say no, because so many bad things have happened to Scotland on kicks late in the half that they'll probably play it straight.
Tyree Davis is standing on his own 10-yard line. It's a high end-over-end kick. Davis, and they just miss it again. That takes a very bad Scotland bounce. That thing went torpedoed straight through the end zone.
David Wilson's not having a lot of luck down there inside the 10. He missed the last one as well. Conley's thinking, well, I'm trying to get it in there. But didn't take a good bounce for David Wilson. It would have been a tough play to make.
Mike Kenny there, the Scottish national coach, the former Fife 49ers coach, just commiserating with his punter there. So Jay Walker, who, like Matt Blundin, has played the whole half. We haven't seen anything of the backups.
And what you're going to see right now is Jay Walker at quarterback and Tony Saka out at wide receiver.
Saka, number 10, the backup wide receiver, is in there. Joey Mickey's in the backfield still. It's a kind of nuisance. Mickey releases, Walker goes over the middle. Incomplete. It should have been a pickup there for Mario Henry.
And I tell you, Tony Saka coming out of the spot was open on that play too. Jack McNeil was talking about how because they're so short of players, the rosters of only 35 players, they use the quarterbacks as receivers in practice for the defense to play with. Not letting them hit him, of course.
And since losing the running game, Walker's gone stone cold. 0 for 7. His last 7 passes. Here's number 8. He's got it this time. It's short of first down yardage.
Tony Sacca made the catch like a tight end and turned around and started running as well.
Here we go.
Jack Bicknell really
Special
having
right.
to delve into the box.
860 Y option. Special right. 860 Y option.
Penn State.
And you'll see him at running back in the second half.
We may see you at running back in the second half, the way this is going for the Dragons.
Things could not get that bad.
Joey Mickey still in the backfield. 3rd and 3. Walker looks. He's got Mario Henry, who's got a first down. James Williams, the first man there, with some help from Corris Irvin. But it's a first down for Barcelona with 45 seconds left in the first half. And that halftime break can't come quick enough for these Dragons.
And important, no, it can, because Mario Henry stopped the clock there. They want to get down at least into field goal range, get a shot at another 3. And remember, we saw it against the Monarchs. Jay Walker can move a team quickly. The thing is getting the momentum going and getting the Dragons on their back foot, going backwards.
Walker, 1st and 10 from his own 36-yard line. 45 seconds left, first half. Walker pump fakes, goes upstairs, gets his receiver, who's nailed at the 35, but hangs on, and Walker calls a timeout. And another big play there from the fellow with the cannon of an arm.
And it took them about 7 seconds to get that timeout recognized. They had almost every player on the field was calling for it before it actually got called. But a great delivery by Jay Walker and a great catch, because it was some hit.
Demetrius Davis is gone. He has a sprained ankle. They don't know whether he'll return or not at the moment. He certainly won't be seeing any more action this half. Tony Sacca is in there, number 19 at the top of the screen.
Sacca, Joe Paterno never taught him this at Penn State, I'll bet you that. He was, give me the ball. He was going to take that one anyway. Not a sharp pattern from Tony Sacca, but your brand new H-back. He's got H-back size. A nice shot of Demetrius Davis, too, talking to Eric Lindstrom, the 2 original Dragons, still with the team.
Well, we were saying that Tony Sacca hasn't seen any playing time, but he's seeing playing time in a way he didn't quite expect it, I don't think.
That's right. And, you know, Jack was saying that Sacca's a good quarterback and really deserves another shot at the NFL.
But he's no Demetrius Davis, that's for sure. 1st down and 10 for the Barcelona Dragons. Walker goes over the middle, and that's bounced around, and that's the problem you've got. That was a catchable ball, and it looked like Sacca just gave up on it.
Let's see now. It comes out of the tight end position. Nobody hits him. Just a little look pattern over the middle. And you saw him look. It's, am I going to get hit? Do I have room to run? You can't be thinking about the defense until you got that ball nestled away.
So, another incompletion. Jay Walker really under all sorts of pressure here. No running game at all. The defense knows it's pass every time.
He's got a tight end playing fullback and a quarterback playing tight end.
And it's batted away. Are they going to rule it a fumble or an incomplete forward pass? And it's a fumble, which means the Claymores get it with 25 seconds left. Or are they saying it's incomplete?
It should be an incompletion because his arm was over his shoulder in the passing motion.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think one of the officials there.
The official reacted to the players chasing after the ball. But of course, when you're a player, the ball comes loose, you go for it.
So it is an incomplete forward pass, which is the right call.
Gerald Jeffcoat coming from the middle of the line. 99's the guy to watch. You see, he beats McCollum up the middle and gets to Walker, but Walker was definitely in the motion of throwing. Now it's 3rd and 10.
25 seconds remaining. Barcelona in trouble. Pressure comes from Corris Irvin. Walker has to throw it away, and the former London Monarch came untouched and almost got Walker.
And he did the right thing there because they were coming at him. If he gets sacked, they've got no shot of a field goal at all.
How far is the freaking thing? How far is the freaking thing?
Well, Scott Zarady has missed a 52-yarder. This would be a 53-yarder, and it'll be worth 4 points if he gets it. With 20 seconds remaining in the first half. And they make a mess of it. They fake it. Walker and it should have been picked off. I'm not sure if they deliberately did that or whether it was just a bad snap and Walker fumbled the hold or what, but whatever. Another busted play on special teams.
It was a bad snap, and Zarate was already in his motion past the kick, so Walker had no choice but to try to throw it away. You'll see the snap's low. Actually, the snap's not bad. Walker drops it. And Zarate just misses. Walker then realizes Zarate's gone past it and has to get rid of it.
And I tell you, if James Williams had caught that, he only had Joey Mickey to beat, and he'd have had daylight.
Yeah, and it did look like a fake, because it looked like Zarate went through for the fake.
It really actually looks as if they planned that one.
I think he just got off his rhythm, and nothing goes right for the Dragons.
Well, it could have been worse there. The Claymores, when they look back at their film of that, they'll think, hey, we could have had a touchdown there. The Claymores are not mucking around. Matt Blundin drops to one knee. The clock continues to run. That will do it for the first half. The Claymores coming from behind to lead it 7-6. The problems all with Barcelona, who have no running game at all.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you. No, after you.
Life is good.
When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here's done.
Play ball.
Sam used every wall in the house for a backboard.
He looks just like me anyway, so I think he got that from
me. He can do that maneuvering and get by.
I like to see Kenny when he steals it. He can steal a ball. 58 feet out. Swish.
He makes me feel 10 feet tall just to talk about him.
Kenny would get it.
Guess he got it from his mother.
There are those who go flat out just for the fun of it, and those who don't. When you go after it like this, you work up a thirst. Now, how you choose to quench that thirst depends on the answer to this simple question. Are you a man or a mouse? Hey, life is a sport. Drink it up.
Do you masticate, Mr. Lightbody?
Do I what?
Choo, 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 that is the Wellville Health Resort, a place for healing,
Just relax, Mr. Lightbody.
for cleansing,
I like to look at the nude ladies.
and most of all,
Sex! I hardly recognize you with your clothes on.
Anthony Hopkins, Bridget Fonda, Matthew Broderick, John Cusack, and Dana Carvey in an Alan Parker film, The Road to Wellville.
Playing on Direct Ticket.
Sean Conley gets the second half underway. It's a short kick that's fielded at around the 20-yard line and taken to around the 37. Joey Mickey, number 88, in there as well. Ben Torriero. Tony Saka, the backup quarterback, was actually in on the kickoff return team as well. Did you ever think you'd see a quarterback on the kick return team?
And Tony Saka, let's see, he's looking for someone to block, but maybe not this time. We'll get him next time.
You know, I had the feeling Tony wasn't putting his heart and soul into that one. Just
It's a good thing he's not an NFL property quarterback, because it'd be a general manager lining up Jack Bicknell in his sights.
Jay Walker stays in at quarterback. Tony Saka is too valuable elsewhere in this Barcelona offense at the moment, and they still don't have a running back. Pump fake and just dumped. Incomplete. I think his hand may have been hit, and this Barcelona offense is looking battered and beaten up.
And what Jay Walker's going to have to do is try to vary things as much as he can. He had Joey Mickey coming out of the backfield, strange as it sounds just to say it, but he had him out there and open for a 2 or 3 yard gain. He's got to start going with that kind of stuff.
Well, those numbers really for Barcelona, 126 passing yards, 27 rushing yards, which is not what they wanted at all, but they have no choice now. Second down and 10 for the walking wounded from Barcelona. And And they go high, and a pickup of around 7 yards. Mario Henry nailed by Darren Butler, short of first down yardage.
And you see what Scotland's able to do. They bring 7 guys rushing, and they can still double team Mario Henry because they don't have to worry about Saka. They're going to play him single coverage the whole way.
Well, this surely one of Coach Bicknell's biggest challenges of his career.
Come on, let's go.
I think Damon Baldwin made a good point too. Now they're coming full-scale rush. Does Joey Mickey know how to pick up those blockers, those rushers from that blocking back position?
Third down, Barcelona. They go to, once again, Mario Henry, who drags Darren Butler for about 5 more yards, and a pickup of around 12 from Walker to Henry again.
Okay, watch Henry out on the right of your screen. Walker moving up, Joey Mickey moving out into the flat again. It's just a quick pattern, and this time he's one-on-one, so he doesn't get hit right away, and he gets the extra yards.
Jay Walker just gets clobbered there. And they don't need to lose him, but it is a first down at the Claymores 45. They drop back to pass once again. They were looking for Mario Henry, but that one not catchable. But this is like a boxer that's only allowed to use one hand.
Exactly, and it's what we saw with London a couple of weeks ago. In London, when they kept going sidelines, you're inviting the team to overplay that sidelines pass and have the guy on the inside, not the man covering the receiver, but the defensive back on the inside step up and make the interception.
Oh, Bicknell has lost so many players. Chucky Johnson went down for the game in the first series defensively. Ricky Blake and Lindsey Chapman, the 2 running backs, are out, and Demetrius Davis. It's a huge part of their offense. Straight over the middle, and nothing doing there. Tony Saka is doing the best he can, but he is not an H-back.
And a good well-thrown ball. Kind of thing that Demetrius Davis or even Joey Mickey would have caught over the middle. It's tough for Tony Saka.
Come on, baby.
Well, Lindsey Chapman and Ricky Blake will not return, we hear. They're gone for the game. Chucky Johnson is gone for the game. Demetrius Davis, they're hoping they can get him back. Does Jack Bicknell need him? 3rd and 10. The spread formation from Barcelona. Joey Mickey in the backfield. He releases, and they go long, and it's complete to Tyree Davis, who is nailed by Darren Johnson, and it's another first down, a pickup of around 16 yards, and Walker is doing a great job here.
Better looking stuff there. They get Davis over the middle, which gets Walker. He can unload quickly. He's got nice time to throw, and he just gets the ball there. But one-on-one, Tyree Davis is going to get open downfield for you. Now, who's the one guy who can run the ball for the Dragons? It's Jay Walker.
That's right. The only quarterback in this league that really has looked effective running the ball. But do you want to risk Walker carrying the ball? If he gets hurt, Barcelona can forget it. They come after him. Corris Irvin wants him, but he managed to get it away. And close there for Mario Henry, who was one-on-one coverage with Darren Butler. They're going after Butler.
And Butler wasn't watching the ball at all. He was just following Mario Henry, which could have been dangerous if Walker had been able to get just a little more on it. See Henry just on the fly, gives him the little move and gone. And Butler's just following him down. The ball's a little bit underthrown because Walker had to get rid of it quick. And look at the hit he took. 1, 2, 3.
They are coming after him. Corris Irvin and Alan Young hitting Walker, who is a big guy. 2nd down and 10. Another deep drop over the middle. Just couldn't quite get his man. Was looking for Shelby Hill, who turns around in frustration. That thrown just behind Hill.
And Hill had some room there if he caught it, some running room. Now, here's the thing. Walker gets hurt. Saka plays quarterback. Can John Pacey come in and play tight end?
He's the 3rd quarterback who is inactive unless the other 2 quarterbacks go down. But I'll tell you, the way these Dragons have gone down in this game, anybody who can stand may get some playing time. 3rd and 10. They pass. It's all they can do. Walker goes upstairs, throws it away. Tyree Davis, the only man vaguely in the area, but Walker simply threw that one away.
Walker had time to throw, but the coverage was good downfield. They double-teamed. See all the linebackers dropping back there. Everybody's double-teamed except the guy up front. See, there's the linebacker, Alexander helping out on Davis. So it's going to be another long field goal attempt.
47 yards for Zarady. This to give the Dragons the lead back once again. The kick's on its way. And for the 3rd time this season, Zarady has missed, and that worthy of note in itself, because Zarady doesn't miss very often, and that just about sums up Jack Bicknell's night. Nothing going the Dragons' way at all.
Tough break for Barcelona, because it would have been nice for them to come out of that with some points, a sort of half a drive there. And if they're going to be a tired team by the end of this game. Those receivers are going to be run ragged.
They don't have much in the tank. So can one of these two teams mount a challenge to go to the World Bowl? Amsterdam are there. They host it on Saturday, June the 17th. You'll see that here on Sky Sports, of course. First down. They go on the ground, the Claymores, which is where they're so strong, and this is where they'll be looking to wear the Barcelona Dragons' defensive front down. There's a telling stat. This season they're averaging 3.8 yards per play, but 5.2 today, and look at it the other way around for Barcelona.
Just reverse those figures and you've got a 1-6 season for Barcelona.
Second down and long. Blundin gets some pressure, goes wide open. It's gone to number 88, Lee Harris. Tracy Smith, cornerback, number 21, was playing very soft and came up late, but it's a first down for the Claymores.
And Blundin, seeing single coverage, took his time delivering that ball to Lee Harris, got the first down.
Well, Matt Blundin working behind an offensive line that's been revamped every week. But I tell you, Tom Scott, number 77, the big guy, the 400-pounder or 390-pounder, whatever he is, certainly making a big contribution here. Blundin with a lot of time. Eric Lindstrom gets him, and he dumps it off to Saran Stacey, but Keith Traylor was there, and nothing doing there for Saran, who is dropped behind the line of scrimmage.
And Tom Scott was pass blocking on that one, and nobody decided to come up the middle where Tom Scott was taking care of things. We'll take a look at it now. Scott's 77 there, right in the center of your screen. He takes up a lot of your screen. Look at that. Now at the last second, there's Victor Hall trying to move around, but he's not going to get around Tom Scott.
Big Tom, the heaviest man in the league, only here because his mother told him to get out and play some football, and Tom said, "You don't argue with my mother." Blundin with a load of time, gets to Graffenried, down to the 33, gets up, is eventually stopped by 28, Eric Turner, but it's another big play for the Claymores, and they're moving.
And when Blundin's got the time to throw, the Graffenried can get open. There you see good protection, no one coming at all. And he delivers the ball to de Graffenried, who slides as he makes the catch, gets up for a couple more yards.
All the way down to the 31-yard line for the versatile Alan de Graffenried. He returns punts, he catches, he kicks. The pitch back is to Stacey, who cuts back inside and picks up around 6 or 7 yards before he's hit by Kenny Alexander.
And with Ishmael...
And there's another Dragon player down. Sorry to interrupt you there, Mike, but yet another Dragon.
With Ishmael and Scott both pulling and leading you to that hole. Juan Long's down now, the middle linebacker. But with those two guys leading you to the hole, Stacey then cut off behind Scott and had room up the middle.
This even worse. Juan Long, an outstanding linebacker, a real NFL potential player, this fella. And they've managed to get him on his feet, but he too is limping off, favoring that left leg. And is this the 5th Barcelona Dragon to check out of the game? In comes Tommy Thigpen, the former New York Giant. Thigpen's a pretty solid player, but Long, really the pick of that linebacking crew.
They've got 6 decent linebackers, the Dragons do, but as you say, Juan Long probably the best of the bunch. And of course, this means they're very thin now. Now let's take a look at Juan Long in the middle of your screen, number 59, the middle linebacker right there. Tom Scott meets him with the block. He spins off that and then gets hit from behind. That's where the injury came.
Second down and 3, Long out of the game. Motion from de Graffenried. They give to Stacey, who doesn't get much at all. Chris Crooms came up from strong safety and broke that one up.
And the Dragons brought Crooms up to the line of scrimmage. They basically had 8 players on the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped, but Blundin went ahead with the running play anyway. Brings up a big third down for the Claymores now.
Juan Long still getting attention.
You start to wonder if it's maybe that you want to wear different cleats in this wet conditions here.
It's unbelievable what's happened to the Dragons today. Blundin fires. It's short of first down yardage, but a great second effort from de Graffenried, but they're calling him down short of first down yardage. De Graffenried thought he was on his way.
He was down when he caught it, and someone did touch him, which is all it takes once you're lying on the ground. And just to finish up on that thought, I mean, Olympic Stadium, very little rain they've had down there on game days, and it's such a beautiful running surface on the side. It may be that they're just not used to the heavier turf here once it gets wet.
Brings up 4th and about a yard. And the Claymores are going to give it a shot on 4th down. Motion they give to Stacey inevitably, who is stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. The Dragons hold firm, and Mike Alexander was in the thick of that at inside linebacker, and these Dragons defensive players really rising to the occasion.
Alexander and Thigpen, both middle linebackers, reacting well and coming in to make that stop. A big play. And you can see the thinking from the Claymores. Well, they can punch the ball over, they can go in for the score. On the other hand, it's only a 1-point lead that they've got, and a field goal would have been nice.
So it remains the Claymores 7, the Dragons 6. We'll be back in a minute.
There's a place in the Big Apple where New Yorkers rush to be on the cutting edge. It's Jean-Louis David. A touch of Paris right in the middle of Manhattan. So if you're looking for a new you, drop in anytime at any of their locations. You don't need an appointment, just your Visa card. Because when it comes to your hair and Jean-Louis David, American Express just won't cut it. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
The old adage, show me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. You know, I think about that a lot. So if something happens and we lose the football game, what I want to do is to get as much out of that negative experience as I can, and then use it the next time that we have the chance to compete.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Roger was the head writer.
Hot script coming through!
Now,
it was murder, and I brought you here to find the killer.
He's the chief suspect.
Come on, kids, spill the beans. I didn't do anything.
Penny was about to be his ex-wife.
I'm trying to stay on top of things around here.
Well, I always liked you on top.
Now, she's his only hope.
Roger may be a lot of things, but he's not a murderer.
She's right. I'm not even a lot of things.
Mary Stuart Masterson, Brian Benben, Radioland Murders. This month on Direct Ticket.
Here in the casualty unit at Emergency Ward 10 at Murrayfield General Hospital, Juan Long has been patched up, turned his left ankle. He will return, but will play in pain. That Barcelona sideline resembling a medical ward at the moment. First down for the Dragons. Joey Mickey still in as they're kind of blocking back. Walker checks one way, goes to Tony Saka, who drops the ball, and they're ruling that an incomplete pass. Well, they're giving Saka every opportunity to star.
Well, he had to. He was the last guy Walker looked for. The emergency on that, he got hit pretty badly. I think he may even come out. But watch Walker. There's Saka cutting across your screen. Walker sees he's all alone. The linebacker didn't go with him. But he takes that hit in the back. And when you're a tight end, you've got to expect those hits. And when you're a quarterback, you don't necessarily.
Saka has limped out. Demetrius Davis has limped in. But I must stress, limped. He was hardly moving, hardly broke into a run. Number 85. They come after Walker. Walker gets rid of it. Short of first down to Mario Henry. Darren Butler came up and made the stop after a gain of around 6.
Walker did a good job of standing in against the rush and delivering that ball, but he was safe on his blind side, because watch Lewis Age, 57, against Young. That's good pass blocking. Lewis Age Nice firm base. Young's got nowhere to go. Can't go through him, can't go around him.
He is tiny in comparison with Tom Scott, Lewis age, just 340. 3rd down and 4. And
you saw that
one. Chuck Bradley, number 76, stood up.
And that's a tough one for the Dragons again, because 3rd and 4 doesn't take much. See the referee indicating the false start. 3rd and 9 now becomes a difficult play. They know where they've got to go.
But this offensive line, I think we've got to say, they're under enormous pressure. They are pass protecting every time, as I'm sure Damon Baldwin would confirm. It's always easier to run block than pass protect for an offensive line. 3rd and long for the walking wounded of Barcelona. Walker drops, fires over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Demetrius Davis, who somehow hobbled out close to 1st down yardage, but Demetrius Davis is not anything near 100% fit.
And the Claymores got a good rush with just a 3-man rush, and they actually deflected the pass. Here's Davis. He's not moving very well on that bad leg. Just jumps up, doesn't come close, and takes the push down from Brian Jones. But that pass was deflected.
So the punting unit out for Barcelona. And it's fielded at around the 33 by Marcus Thomas, who's got some running room and gets close to midfield before being stopped. There is a flag. Joe Johnson, number 54, came up and made the stop, but Thomas showing a good turn of pace there.
And it was a low line drive kick, but Mario Henry, 80, was down on the coverage, but Henry couldn't make the tackle, and there was running room after he missed that first tackle.
But the call here could be significant. Inevitably, it goes against the Dragons.
It was against Tommy Thigpen for going downfield illegally. You can't go downfield till the ball's kicked if you're one of the interior linemen.
I think it's worth pointing out that for all the problems that the Dragons have, they still trail by just a point.
That's right. And they've had 2 shots at going ahead on field goals, which they haven't made.
As the big man, Tom Scott, one of the biggest player in the World League, and ironically, there's one of the smallest players in the World League on the Claymores, Scott Cooper as well. I think Tom Scott makes about 3 Scott Coopers. Marcus Thomas checks out of the game. Saran Stacey gets the call, looks to turn the corner, is nailed after a pickup of 5 or 6 by Tommy Thigpen, number 51, who came in. But Tom Scott, we talked about him, already firm friends with Scott Cooper, which is a smart move on Scott Cooper's part, because he really is the little guy on the team.
Yeah. Which one's which? I can tell.
I tell you, Tom Scott's upper arm is twice the size of Scott Cooper's thigh. Yeah, sure, Scott. Sure, we believe you. It's that Charles Atlas course that Scott Cooper's been working on all season.
Nice hit in there by Byron Bonds and Tommy Thigpen. I say you get Scott Cooper out there to the south, in America, and get some of that food in him. He can put on some pounds.
Yeah, I don't think he'd ever quite match up with Tom Scott somehow. 3rd down and 3. Cooper hoping to get some playing time here. Picked up 3 catches late against Amsterdam last week. Got nailed by a cornerback on one play and just bounced straight back up again. That impressed the coaching staff. 3rd down. The Claymores looking to try and put this game away. And it's it's incomplete. Good effort from Lee Harris, but he couldn't come up with the ball. And once again, the Claymores offense still can't get into gear.
And you can see the offensive line seems to be wearing down Barcelona's defense, but the Dragons come up with one big play on each series, and then London doesn't connect on the pass.
So still, the Dragons hold firm. Tyree Davis is standing at his own 10-yard line, waiting for the punt from Sean Conley. Flag comes down. Conley gets off the punt, which drops and is fielded Well taken and claimed at the 1-yard line by David Wilson. You can't do it any better than that, but there is a flag.
And I think the flag is going to be for the man leaving too soon against the Claymores, same one we saw last time.
And that'll be a sickener for David Wilson. That is perfect punt coverage, fielding the ball at the 1-yard line. Not looking good for the Scottish Claymores, though. There's confirmation. It goes against the Claymores, and that's one penalty that the Barcelona Dragons will definitely accept.
Because David Wilson's been down there 3 times, and Connolly's punts, the first 2 just skidded by him both times. That time they did it to perfection.
Tyree Davis having no chance with a return. 3rd in the World League. He averages around 8.7 yards per punt return, trailing Kenny McIntyre of the London Monarchs. Joe Johnson checks out of the lineup for Barcelona. The Claymores have to try again. Connolly gets a low snap, puts one high up in the air, which Davis fields at the 15 and is stopped straight away by Ricky Andrews. So the Dragons still trail 7-6. We'll be back after this.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
The day that I stop getting nervous or anxious before a football game is the day that I'm going to hang them up, because in this business, when you start taking things in stride, there's somebody that's going to be out there that maybe gets a little more nervous or a little more anxious or have more anxieties, and they're going to beat you.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Morrison versus Ruddock, Saturday, June 10th, 10 p.m. Eastern on Channel 101, only $29.95 live on Direct Ticket.
The Scottish Claymores lead the Barcelona Dragons by just 1 point. The Dragons have no running game. They have 5 players back. 4 of them look like they may be out of the game. Zisco Marcos, number 86, the Spanish wide receiver, is in the lineup, along with Tony Saka, Mario Henry and Tyree Davis. For the pass-happy Dragons, they can do nothing else. Both their running backs out of the game for good. It's all on the arm of Jay Walker and his quartet of receivers. Walker drops back, looks for Zisco Marcos, who was open, and the ball underthrown.
Let's take a look now at the Cisco kid, Zisco Marcos. Come down. Just a little curl out at the first down marker. Ball's underthrown. Gets it on the bounce, doesn't count.
He was open. Zisco Marcos plays for the Pobl Nou Buffaloes back in Spain and has a catch to his name this season already. Walker flushed out of the pocket and nailed and sacked for a loss of around 5. Alan Young came up big time there.
And I think that was the quarterback run. I think that was going to be our first running play of the second half for the Dragons. But the Claymores were coming, which made it tough to execute the run. 94, Alan Young, right on the bottom of your screen there. You see Walker hangs on and he's going, trying to get outside, but he's not going to get outside of Young when Young's 3 feet in the backfield.
Alan Young coming up with the sack there.
Nick's idle because he wants to own a McDonald's franchise, which Nick wants to live in.
Walker drops, fires over the middle. It's short of first down yardage. Great stop from Corris Irvin, but Tyree Davis comes up short, so the punting unit comes in for Jack McNell, and that was close, but a couple of yards shy.
And that's 3 and out for the Dragons, which is bad news for their defense, which is really starting to feel it.
But at least they bought themselves a bit of punting room. Zarady would have been punting from 5 yards inside his own end zone if they hadn't completed that pass. So Marcus Thomas, who returned to midfield last time, low snap. Conley, or Zarady does well just to get it off, but it won't even get to midfield. It's going to be down at around the 46-yard line of the Barcelona Dragons, and slowly but surely the Scottish Claymores are grinding them down. And Jim Kreiner must know this is the perfect opportunity to break his duck as far as the second half of the season is concerned. Remember, the Claymores can still go to the World Bowl. They have to win 3 in a row and hope results elsewhere go against them. But the loser here can forget about it. They're gone.
3-2 record could easily, or not easily, because we'd have to figure out all the permutations of the head-to-head matchups. But a 3-2 record could get you into the World Bowl.
So the Scottish Claymores from the 45 of the Dragons. They fake the handoff. Blundin gets some pressure, gets Marcus Thomas, who can't hang on to the ball. Eric Lindstrom in on coverage, and a bit of pushing and shoving between Thomas and Lindstrom.
This is a nice bit of ball handling by Matt Blundin, and we've seen on some of our plays of the day on the Friday show how Blundin does this. Look at how he holds the ball in his right hand on his hip and hides it and delivers it to Marcus Thomas, who just lets it go through his hands. And he and Eric Lindstrom discuss the relative greased hands factor.
2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Blundin drops, a little swing pass to Saran Stacey, who gets some blocks, stands up, turns around, gets a first down, cuts inside, great blocking and a pickup of around 22 yards. And intelligent running from Stacey, who waited for his blockers and used them well.
Really good little screen pass, and you watch, they let Kevin O'Brien, the outside linebacker, come in. There's O'Brien, and they just throw where he was. He gets a blocker out in front of him. That's Ryan with the block. And then he does the rest now on his own, picking up more blockers, threading his way through.
Stacey, 79 yards on the ground, 73 through the air. And they give it to him again. And he's nailed this time, nothing doing there. Victor Hall came up, and an ankle tap broke it up.
All right. Good penetration by Victor Hall, and he just got Stacey's ankle as he went by. Another big play by the Barcelona defense.
There's confirmation of Stacey's numbers. He now leads the World League in rushing. He'll have moved ahead of Amsterdam's Ralph Dawkins, who is gone for the season. Had Dawkins still been fit, he would have been the World League rushing leader, but Stacey now assumes that. 2nd down and long. Pressure comes, and they bat it away. Now, are they going to rule it a forward pass? If so, that could have been a pickoff for Ken Alexander, but he couldn't hang on to it.
And again, you see what makes this Barcelona defense so tough. They give up lots of yardage, but when it gets in the tight situation, they're really big play guys. Farrell comes in, he gets taken on the rush, but they get the ball away, get batted away, and if Alexander could hang on to that one, would have been a big play for Barcelona.
Now, does this Barcelona defense need a big play? Doug Williams there, the offensive coordinator, sending the plays in to Matt Blundin. Blundin drops, takes a lot of time, waits for his receivers to get over, and in the end just goes short to Saran Stacey once again, who is brought down short of first down yardage. And this time it's Victor Hall that gets up very slowly, number 98 for the Dragons.
Hey, this is
but it looks like they've held once again, but McNell screaming about something once more.
Field goal block.
Jack McNell didn't like the fact that Stacey was able to get open and then make yardage downfield when he thought they should have had them stopped.
Sean Conley will attempt a 37-yard field goal with just over 2 minutes remaining, third quarter. The hold from Terry Carge, the flag goes down and it splits the uprights, but there is a flag. We'll have to wait for the official verdict on that one before Conley can start celebrating his 5th successful field goal of the season. He goes against Barcelona. So that's the good news as far as the Claymores are concerned. Bad news as far as Cowboy Jack is concerned.
Now 5 yards is just about enough for a first down.
But the question is, do you take points off the board when you've got them? That's a sickening penalty for the Dragons.
Field defense, field! Field defense!
And how you can get a 12-man on the field call.
I tell you what,
at that stage of the game.
I tell you what,
Jack McNeil has a lot of reason to be upset
how is
now.
that possible that we can get 12 guys out on that?
And you can hear what Jack's saying there. How is it possible? With the things that have gone wrong for this team, and now instead of giving up 3 points on Conley's field goal, it's a first down for the Scottish Claymores. Conley's kick won't stand up. I just wonder, taking points off the board, whether this is a good move from the Claymores. Time will tell. The pitch back, trouble here. Saran Stacey met Eric Lindstrom. The old veteran came up with a big-time play there.
Big play by Lindstrom on the linebacker stunt. He'll come from the left side of the screen, and in the red zone, you've got to take the first down if you can get it. Lindstrom's penetration right there just wraps up Stacey. Gets some help from Todd Farrell, but if you can get the first down in that area, you're going in for a touchdown. You've got to take it.
This is Eric Lindstrom's 8th year of playing for Jack Bicknell. 5 at Boston College and 3 in Barcelona. Loves to play for El Caballero. Second down and long. Blundin with a lot of time. Goes, bounces off the fingertips. And once again, Jim Kreiner stares in disbelief, but he's seen that many times this season. And that brings up 3rd and long. And I'm just for the first time wondering if it really was such a good idea
well, remember,
to take that
Nick,
field
he can
goal
always
off.
kick the field goal again on 4th down if he has to.
But it may get blocked.
Or you may,
The 3
you
points,
may give the ball up away. You know?
The 3 points were on the board. We'll see. It may turn out right for the Claymores after all. 3rd down. Blundin gets a lot of time. Goes into the end zone. Incomplete. Broken up. Incomplete. Some of these fans thought it was a touchdown. So Sean Conley will have to come on and kick. He'd already kicked a 37-yard one. This will now be a 35-yarder. Terry Carge holding, high snap, well fielded, and it looks like it's as you were, straight through the uprights. This time it'll stand. So the Scottish Claymores increase their lead. Sean Conley gets it right again at the second time of asking, with 1 minute and 9 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. But Jack Bicknell's team still alive, just down by 4.
And they escape again by the skin of their teeth. I mean, they'd stopped them. They gave up the field goal. They nearly gave them a shot at a touchdown, but they held on once more. The only question is, can they get any offense working at all? Now, they've got a couple of guys. Todd Farrell was a running back at BU. You probably don't want to use your defensive back as a running back. Pau Call played running back in the Spanish League. He's on the team as a defensive back, but he's actually carried the ball, I think, once in the World League in the first season a couple of years ago. It might be worth just putting one of those guys in just to try to make the defense give them a little bit of respect, make them think that maybe you will run the ball.
It is definitely getting to the time that the Barcelona Dragons have got to try and mix things up a little bit, as you say, Mike. Make the Claymores realise they have to think of other things, because they know what's coming every time.
The other thing you might try is running out of the shotgun, where Walker might be a threat to run with Joey Mickey blocking for him.
So the Claymores ahead by 4. Tyree Davis, the deep man, waiting to field Sean Conley's kickoff.
And of course, the lack of running backs even affects them on the kickoffs, because Chapman is their kickoff return guy, and a good one.
Talking of Chapman, Darren Chapman, number 41, is on the kickoff team for the Claymores, along with Ben Torriero. They're lined up on the right-hand side of the kicker, number 1 and 2. Walker's numbers, 43 attempts and just 17 completions.
And it's like you're trailing by 30 points and you've got to put the ball in the air every time, except you're only down by 4.
I tell you, this fella has a powerful arm, but even his arm must be getting tired now.
He's going to have a tired arm by the end of the day.
Well, Jay Walker started off as the number 2 guy really on the depth chart for Barcelona behind Casey Weldon, but when Weldon went back to Tampa Bay, Walker really stepped up. And Jack McNell, talking to him this morning, he said this fella is getting better and better. He really likes what Jay Walker is doing.
He played at Long Beach State. They dropped the Division I football program, so he transferred to Howard University, which is way on the other side of the country in Washington, D.C., traditionally black college, and all of his family had wanted to go there. It was a sort of family dream, so he went there, had a couple of really big years in Division I AA in the States. Patriots drafted him. All he needs is experience.
He's getting that now. Kick fielded by Tyree Davis at his own 6. There's a bit of running room for him here. Still on his feet, gets some blockers, gets close to the 40, still on his feet. Great run from Tyree Davis. In the end, he's brought down by Tim Brown, but Tyree Davis close to midfield.
And Tyree Davis used his blockers well, but also great individual effort on this play. Now watch the way the blocking sets up in front of him. Davis, ball takes a little bit of time to get to him, but Shelby Hill, Chris Crooms right in front of him there. They double team. Now he's got to break these tackles himself. And he does. He gets through. And then up the sidelines. A nice bit of running by Tyree Davis.
38 yards, in fact. Darren Chapman, former Granite City Oiler, almost had a piece of Tyree Davis there, but Davis just too quick for him. Walker drops back to pass, throws incomplete, looking for Shelby Hill, but another underthrown ball from Walker.
And I think one thing he's got to start doing too is looking for Joey Mickey coming out of the backfield.
As Mickey can catch, we saw that last week, made a couple of very nice catches for a fella that supposedly is in there only as a blocker. He's got good hands.
Once he gets rolling, he weighs about 270 pounds.
Second down for the Dragons, passing as they have to. Pressure comes. Walker trying to get away, puts it up in the air. Dangerous ball. It's caught by Shelby Hill, who is going to be very close to first down yardage. But goodness me, did the Barcelona Dragons get a break there.
That one came down with Scottish ice on it. Walker just threw it up for grabs, and Shelby Hill did a great job of jostling for position and making the catch. I see Walker's going to come, and there's Mickey. The linebacker's got him, so he's not open. Walker's going to come under pressure, and he takes a jump and tosses it back across the field. And watch Hill. Sees it all the way like a center fielder in baseball. Brings it in and gets the first down. And Walker got hit after he got rid of it. Now what? He's up on one leg as well, so he comes down on one leg and takes a pretty good hit from Michael Brandon. A pretty late hit, too, if you ask me.
The officials don't agree with you, but I think you certainly have a point there,
I bet you Horace Morris is jumping out of his seat saying, that's no late hit.
Yeah, these defensive ends, they never like late hits, do they?
No such thing.
Certainly not if you're in the company of one of them.
You're such an agreeable guy.
No, I certainly am. From the safety of the commentary.
He's 400 miles away. I'm next to you.
You can't touch me, Horace. So it's a first down. Shelby Hill with a great catch and an important catch for the Barcelona Dragons, who have Tyree Davis lined up in the slot to the right. 4 wide receivers out, Joey Mickey in the backfield. And they go, and it bounces off the hands of Tyree Davis. And once again, just about everyone in this crowd were off their feet thinking interception. Didn't happen.
It was up there for grabs. Let's see if we can hear what Jack McNell's saying.
Horse right. 860. Our option. Go to Mickey if you have to.
Well, Jack McNells wants him to look for Joey Mickey, too.
If you have to. This is hardly a vote of confidence.
Watch it. He'll probably be rolling out to the right.
This will be the last play of the third quarter. Second down and 10. Good protection. He's got Shelby Hill again. That'll be short of first down yardage. He's hit by Ricky Andrews, but Hill showing safe hands there, and Hill, who's been quiet, coming up with a couple of big plays when they need him, and now Jay Walker is limping. That's the end of the quarter. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this.
Whoa. Sam used every wall in the house for backboard.
He looks just like me anyway, so I think he got that from me. He can do that maneuvering and get by. I like to see Kenny when he steals it. He can steal a ball. 58 feet out. Swish. He makes me feel 10 feet tall just to talk about him. Kenny would get it. Guess he got it from his mother.
You have 21.
Richard Goodwin is about to investigate.
He thinks 21 is rigged. Is it?
A world he's always envied.
Gonna put television on trial.
It's the case that could make his career.
You telling me everybody got the answers but you?
And destroy a remarkable man.
I can't decide if you think too much of me or too little.
From Oscar-winning director Robert Redford.
If someone offered you all this money, would you do it?
I'm going to have to ask for your answer.
Quiz show playing on DirecTV.
A very gutsy effort by the Barcelona Dragons with no running backs healthy. They've thrown the ball 34 straight times. The Claymores know what's coming every time, but still just 4 points in it. And as we start the fourth quarter, Barcelona have the ball at the 38-yard line of the Claymores. They're still alive. Third down. There's pass number 35. Shelby Hill makes the catch once again. David Wilson nailed him, but Hill should have a first down. But a flag.
Now they're all coming. Watch the linebackers coming, which is actually a good thing on this play because they're looking short. He gets the ball to Hill. Now the question is where they mark it. And the line judge was not doing a quick job of coming up and marking.
That's a terrible mark. Hill made the catch at the 35-yard line. They've pushed it 2 yards further back. That's an awful, awful mark. It brings out the punting unit. Alan de Graffenried back at his own 10-yard line. Another high, wobbly kick, which de Graffenried will field. No, he doesn't. He's surrounded, and the ball bounces back. And he's down by Chris Crooms at around the 15-yard line.
A clever play by de Graffenried, because by watching the ball, the guys who didn't follow its path came down on him, and of course, the ball was coming down on the right side of the field.
Well, Barcelona still in this one. They have to come back and win it, and their schedule gets pretty tough after they wrap up here in Murrayfield as well. Next week they go to Dusseldorf to take on the revitalised Rhine Fire, who may of course have lost to London by the time that game comes around. And then they wrap up their season with their old adversaries, Frankfurt.
Looks like the chief there has picked up a feather in his cap.
Tim Barnett. That's the first time we've mentioned Tim Barnett's name all night. And very quiet, Barnett. They stay on the ground, the Claymores. Saran Stacey doesn't get past Ken Alexander, but still picks up around 4 yards.
And just on momentum, and again, the Dragons defense is really tired. They've been out there a long time. Pau Call in on the tackle as well. You got to play in there at strong safety.
Well, the Claymores, they too have to visit Germany next. They go to Frankfurt, or rather they entertain Frankfurt here in Murrayfield, and they finish up in London. Second down and around 5. Blundin drops back to pass, straight over the middle. First down yardage, that keeps the drive alive. Suran Stacey, who must be closing in on 200 all-purpose yards for the night.
And not much pass rush from the middle of the Barcelona line. Keith Traylor's limping again on that ankle that he injured earlier in the season. So he wasn't able to put anything on in the middle, and that's where they went with Saran Stacey.
That moves the chains.
See Traylor's ankle heavily wrapped on the outside.
From the 31, Blundin drops back on first down. They try to set up the screen to safety, who gets past Chris Crooms and gets a first down. Once he'd beaten the first man, there was always trouble there for Barcelona, because Stacey in open running room is lethal.
And the first guy's got to make the tackle on that play. I think you could see in the middle of your screen as we ran the play, the Trailer wasn't getting much rush in the middle of the line. So Blundin's looking all the way for the running back, and it's one-on-one there. So if he beats the safety coming up, he's got a lot of room.
A pick up of 12 yards on the pass. moves the ball to the 43-yard line, and Blundin's numbers for the day as Blundin takes a timeout. This is the sort of performance you'd expect from an NFL quarterback. But Blundin has struggled this season.
That was a clock timeout. They'd gotten the game clock was down to about 1 second.
So a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. It's 10-6 in favor of Scotland. We'll be back.
I think everybody now acknowledges the fact that Jerry Rice does so many things. He catches the ball, he can get deep, he catches the ball short, he can break tackles, he can run away from tacklers, he can get the ball into the end zone. He makes the big play in the big game.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
And to this reporter, it's obvious that these strike negotiations are going nowhere fast.
Well, I've had just about enough.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
Love the shoes.
What were we thinking? After you. No, after you.
Life is good.
When you've got the great taste of an ice-cold Miller Lite, life is good.
Our work here's done.
Play ball.
Now that you've given her away, you'll always cherish the memories. You'll always remember the joy. And you'll never forget the bill.
$220 for parsley?
But hey, isn't that why you got Visa Gold in the first place? With all the purchase power to handle any occasion. Even the most precious. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Better open up the window because Direct Ticket is steaming up the house with 2 movies too hot to miss. When Miss Right turns out to be all wrong, life can become a deadly nightmare in Dangerous Indiscretion.
I'm trying to tell your wife that I'm in love with her.
His best friend just got married, but the best man's work has just begun when he hears the bride say, "Sleep with me." Woo! These invitations are hard to refuse this month on Direct Ticket.
And that guy's having a big game. Saran Stacey.
Absolutely phenomenal. Saran Stacey, the real franchise back. Jim Kreiner said he could be the best running back in the league. He may be right. Blundin with loads of time and is almost picked off, and that was close, and it should have been picked off. Tommy Thigpen had it.
Tommy Thigpen had that one all the way and just couldn't hang on to it. And you'll see Blundin had a load of time to pass. He gets to look around, and you saw Thigpen on the right of your screen dropping into coverage. Receiver starts to fall down. Thigpen had the inside track to it, and he was gone if he hangs on to it.
Tommy Thigpen, drafted by the Giants in '93 on injured reserve all season, and the Giants really gave up on him after that. Blundin with a lot of time again, gets his man. That's a first down. Alan de Graffenried takes the ball to around the 35-yard line.
And if Blundin gets that much time to pass, he's going to complete every other one. It's inevitable.
Number 87, Aubrey Thompson, is in the lineup for the Claymores as well. The new tight end that they've just signed from Utah State, played CFL football with the Las Vegas Posse last season.
Something weird about saying CFL football in Las Vegas.
Isn't that peculiar? They're trying to go down to Florida now. Blundin, hands off. Saran Stacey doesn't get much there at all. Tommy Thigpen, number 51, in on the stop. Byron Bonds there as well. Stacey over 100 yards receiving, looking to go over 100 rushing as well.
Now in the passing situation, they're taking Traylor out in order to try to get more, generate more pass rush. Illich is in.
Second down, Blundin drops, pressure comes, and he just has to dump it off, and it's in fact gone to Aubrey Thompson, the new man in, who gets close to first down yardage. The Claymores dodged a bullet there, and the new man comes up with his first reception for his new club.
And it looked like that one went through Byron Bonds' hands, and they thought that it was dead. Let's take a look now. They get some good pressure. You see Illich there moving on the inside. The linebacker comes, and there it is. It went right off Byron Bonds' hand, and a good grab by Aubrey Thompson, and a nice bit of running. Bonds finally makes the tackle, gets some help from Eric Turner, but Byron Bonds almost made the big play.
He got 9 yards, 3rd down and short for the Claymores. They keep it on the ground once again, and that's going to be very close to 1st down yardage, depending on where they spot it. Kevin O'Brien in on the stop. But Stacey is really pounding this Barcelona defensive front now. And from where they've spotted that ball, it's going to be very touch and go.
Looks like they've just got it by the nose of the football. Yes, oh great guru.
We'll see. If they have to kick a field goal from here, it'll be around 42 yards, which is in Connolly's range. He has hit a 43-yarder.
I think someone said just by the nose of the football.
Just by the nose of the ball, Mike. Official Carlson comes up with a perfect read. They don't need the chains. They should just listen to you, Mike.
Give me the angle and I'll make the call. Now a really big series for the Dragons again. It's about the 3rd time this half. The Claymores have been knocking at the door.
Just 1 field goal to show for it so far, but Scotland continuing to build and build. He's got his man. It's a 1st down. It's Tim Barnett, who's been so quiet the 2nd half of the season. Eric Turner on the stop, but Barnett coming up with a big reception there.
And Blunden again with lots of time to throw, looking for Barnett all the way. And Barnett had run a nice pattern, beating Lindstrom, the linebacker, and Turner hadn't yet come up. He gets the extra 6 or 7 yards, just spinning his way there. And look at the difference in Tim Barnett's play.
Yes, welcome to the game, Tim. First 2 games, he was everywhere. Last 5, virtually anonymous, missing in action. But not missing there. Stacey gets the give, tries to turn the corner, is pushed back inside, runs straight into Eric Lindstrom and Victor Hall.
Those outside linebackers have been doing a tremendous job for Barcelona. They've been using them. They've been sending O'Brien a lot. They've been bringing Lindstrom's been making the plays against the rush. He's had to go back into pass coverage. Tommy Thigpen then comes in and helps out.
Every one of these Barcelona defensive players has turned it up a notch. Blunden drops loads of time, puts it upstairs, but overthrown. Dwayne Chandler was there, but it looked like Blunden may just have thrown that one away.
And there was a little bump in the end zone on the receiver. Not enough really to get an interference call, especially because the ball was overthrown. And look at the rain coming down here. Not a good omen when you've got to pass on every down.
I'll tell you, when it rains, it pours, and it is pouring now. Not so much on Jim Kreiner, but certainly on the Barcelona Dragons, who can't run the ball. They can only pass it. 3rd down. Blunden, lots of time. Bounces off the fingers of Tim Barnett once again. So they've come up short again, and the field goal unit has to come out. But Tim Barnett, like Alan de Graffenried, just letting 1 or 2 bounce off his fingertips.
I want to know where that feather came from in his helmet and how it stays there.
Oh, we'll ask him afterwards. You can ask him.
Do you get one for making a catch, and do you get a whole bonnet if you score a touchdown?
27 yards for Sean Connolly. That one's blocked and recovered by Barcelona, who have got a live ball. And Sean Thomas, with a very smart piece of play, almost turned the corner. And what a lift that would have given the Barcelona Dragons. As it is, the Claymores keep knocking at the door, but they can't knock it down.
And the tackle was made by James Spencer, the ex-Claymore, who the Dragons, the ex-Dragon, the Claymores picked up.
So it remains 10-6 in favor of the Claymores. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
When you get into this profession, this coaching profession, you dream of someday being able to lead your team out to play a Super Bowl. Now all of a sudden it's there. You have that opportunity. It's really a feeling that you can't describe. It's just such a feeling of contentment.
NFL Sunday Ticket, up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Hey, 49er fans. Your team just completed a record-breaking season. Player of the Year Steve Young and Jerry Rice paced the league's best offense, while Deion Sanders tightened up the D. Together, they won an unprecedented 5th Super Bowl. So, 49er fans, what do you do for an encore? The official 49ers championship video is available now.
These drug cartels represent a clear and present danger to the national security of the United States.
It is my duty to report this matter to the Senate Oversight Committee.
I will not let you dishonor their memories by pretending you had nothing to do with it.
How dare you come into this office and bark at me? I am the President of the United States.
How dare you, sir?
Harrison Ford. Clear and present danger.
Playing this month on DirecTV.
Well, the rain getting heavier and heavier, the conditions here at Murrayfield deteriorating, and that's probably not helping anybody, certainly not Sean Connolly.
Now watch in the middle of your screen, Lewis Age, big Lewis Age III, just gets up and times it and hangs in the air. Be good on the line out, that guy. Lewis Age, 6'7", gets up and block it. That big play, Barcelona defense comes through again.
They really have held firm, haven't they? And it's still just a 4-point ball game with 8 minutes left. Walker under pressure gets Joey Mickey, who is met immediately by Corris Irving, but Mickey showing a safe pair of hands, but may have lost a yard on the catch. And Barcelona, since they've lost their running backs, have become very predictable. They can't do anything else. They lose a yard.
There's the man who blocked the kick. Big Lewis Age, his father, Lewis Age II, played for the New York Jets.
2nd down and 11. Good protection. It's batted up in the air. Joey Mickey almost managed to make a completion out of it. Gerald Jeffcoat in on that as well.
And you remember Scotland's got that good defensive line, and they've been just coming and coming. It'll be Troy Ridgely in the middle of your screen and gets his hands up just as Walker unloads and deflects that ball. Ridgely 96, Gerald Jeffcoat on the other side coming in as well, 99.
That's a good couple of defensive tackles, Jeffcoat and Ridgely. 3rd down and long for Barcelona, who pass. Walker is flushed and has to run. Flushed out of the pocket and will be brought short of 1st down yardage by about 4 yards. That's the first time they've run the ball this half, and it was forced on them.
And he's run for the 1st down. I think he just got it over the markers. The chains are moving. A big play by Jay Walker. A big 1st down for Barcelona, and that's their first running play.
Unplanned, but it does the job. As you say, Mike, he did get the 1st down. Gutsy run from the big man. 230 pounds. That's huge for a quarterback. Scotland show blitz. Walker puts it upstairs, goes deep. Shelby Hill's got it and gone. Foot race now. Shelby Hill beats George Coghill, and the Dragons have come back from the dead.
And what a play by Shelby Hill, because that ball was nearly intercepted. It got deflected, and Shelby Hill made the catch, spun free, and got in the score, and this stadium has gone absolutely silent.
6:41 remaining, and the Barcelona Dragons, without a running game, have just taken the lead against the Scottish Claymores with the extra point to come. And Shelby Hill, who has stepped up a considerable notch in the 2nd half. And that a huge play, and what a sickener.
And they needed a big play from the offense, at least one, and they finally got it.
Scott Zarady will attempt the extra point. This to give the Dragons a 3-point lead. And it's through. So no problems there. 6:41 remaining, and the Barcelona Dragons, who've been on their knees all half, suddenly find themselves on top.
Now Walker comes back to pass, and he's not going to have a lot of time, even though it's basically only the 4-man rush. But he puts a lot into it, and watch Shelby Hill now. Watch the concentration, because the ball's deflected. And Hill still comes up with it and keeps his balance, turns around, and no one's catching him at this point. George Coghill right in front of him. Let's see Jay Walker now It's been a long day for Jay. Oh, yes.
Oh,
finally.
That look says it all, doesn't it? What a night it's been for these Dragons, but they can't relax yet.
And they've been waiting all season for the big play from Shelby Hill.
There is the numbers on Shelby Hill, who's had a very quiet season in comparison with the other receivers. Just came into this game with just 7 catches to his name. That's certainly the biggest of the season as far as the Dragons are concerned. They had to win here.
And Shelby Hill came out of Syracuse very highly rated as a wide receiver.
And not only that, not only was it a touchdown, it was the longest pass of the year in the World League anywhere. And Jim Kreiner's team, how do they come back from this? How do you come back from losing to a team that doesn't have a running back if it does stay the way it is now? And the fans booing and jeering as Serradi kicks it off. De Graffenried is back deep. It's another shallow kick. In fact, goes out of bounds at around the 15.
So he'll take it at the 40. The booing's starting a bit early. There's still plenty of time left. And the Claymores have been able to move the ball. There's no reason why they can't come down and score.
Jay Walker and Matt Blundin have both had some success. Walker's had to throw 51 attempts, Blundin 20 of 35, neither of them intercepted, considering they've had 86 passes thrown between them, not one pickoff.
And there's been a lot of balls that could have been intercepted, we should say. I mean, a couple that were up there for grabs, a couple of deflections and balls that went through hands.
So, can the Scottish Claymores come back?
Now,
sorry, Mike.
Yeah, the other interesting thing is, say Barcelona stops Scotland and Scotland punt them the ball, they can't run it out. They've got to put the ball up in the air and stop the clock.
Tim Barnett is in the lineup, wide right. De Graffenried wide left. 2 in the backfield for the Claymores. They fake and over the middle and complete a pickup of 15 yards for the Claymores. Tim Barnett getting back into top gear now.
And I don't know whether it's the feather or what, but Tim Barnett looks like the Tim Barnett we saw in those first 2 weeks.
The feather doesn't hurt, I think that's the thinking. The former Kansas City Chief, 4 years in KC. So he knows Matt Blundin. They go on the ground this time. Saran Stacey with a lot of running room gets into the secondary. Vladimir Illick stayed with him, and Chris Crooms was there to help.
Now, we said that this big offensive line is wearing down Barcelona's defense. Watch the blocking there. Everyone blocks right, and they just seal that hole off. Andre Hewitt stops the end, Illich, from coming in, and there's a huge hole for Stacey to move through.
And that moves the chains. The Claymores, as you say, Mike, have been moving it up and down, but they get so far and then Barcelona hold firm. But this could be a crucial drive. 5:25 left and the clock still running. They go on the ground again to Stacey, who picks up another 4 or 5 yards before he's stopped.
Tommy Thigpen down there at the bottom of the pile making the tackle. He's played really well in the middle since he had to replace Juan Long.
A lot of these Dragons backups have come up and really answered the call. Thigpen's impressed whenever he's had the opportunity.
Now, he's another guy really highly rated when he came out of college, and you really hope he gets another shot at the NFL after that injury season last year.
Blundin drops back, pressure comes. They give the screen pass to Stacey, who hurdles one man, beats another, cuts back inside. All Saran Stacey that. It was a simple screen pass. It got him about 22 yards, and 20 of them are all down to Stacey.
And Barcelona pretty much had the screen covered. And as you say, Nick, now Blundin takes a nice long drop, lets the rush come and gets the ball to Stacey. And see, he doesn't have a lot of blocking there, but he takes the one block he gets and then cuts back. Stands Crooms up and gets another 5. Great play by Saran Stacey.
Well, Stacey closing in on 100 yards rushing and over 100 yards receiving and over 200 yards all-purpose. The handoff is to Stacey this time, who gets maybe a yard. Victor Hall and Tommy Thigpen were in on the stop there.
They had a miscommunication there on that play. Supposed to be a delay on the play action, but either Blunden went too far back or Stacy took the wrong step.
And there's another injured Dragon. They can't afford to lose anyone else, but one of the Dragons not yet on his feet, and it looks like Tommy Thigpen. We were talking about how often he's been injured, and it looks like another knock. Let's hope it's nothing serious.
And that becomes a tough one, too, because their other linebacker, Joe Johnson, is basically an outside guy. He's going to have to move inside, or Juan Long's going to have to come back.
Jack Bicknell comes to check on the status.
And it looks like Juan Long is coming back. He's limping pretty heavily.
So it's 13-10 in favor of Barcelona, but Scotland moving in. Will be back.
I think the initial hit is still pretty much coached the same way, in that you have to approach him facing the numbers and then wrap him up, and then if he slides one way or the other, it becomes an arm tackle. But you're also taught to get in there and to try to strip the ball carrier of the football. And I think defensive coaches are stressing that more and more.
NFL Sunday Ticket. Up to 13 NFL games each Sunday. To sign up, call DirecTV at 1-800-781-4DTV.
Let there be football.
Kick off this summer with a celebration of Americana. Wave the flag and salute the red, white, and blue. Pay tribute to our country's great leaders and blast off for one great summer. World Championship Wrestling proudly presents the return of the Great American Bash. Live Sunday, June 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern, only $19.95 on Channel 101 on Direct Ticket.
Welcome back. Tommy Thigpen getting some attention on the Barcelona sidelines. He's out for this play. Juan Long has limped back into the inside linebacker position, number 59, but he's nowhere near fully fit either.
And the whole time they're working on Thigpen, his eyes are on the field. He's watching what happens.
Close to 400 yards total offense for the Claymores, just 10 points so far. Blunden with a lot of time, gets Stacy once again, but only picks up 2 or 3. Barcelona really playing it tough down in the red zone.
And they have been all game. It's that bend but don't break defense that Red Kellen uses. It's a 3-4 that you can move on a lot, but when it gets down tight, it becomes harder to move. It becomes hard to move on any defense, but the 3-4, it becomes much harder than it is in the open field.
So Doug Williams, the offensive coordinator, nearly 400 yards of offense, just 10 points. Blunden goes and almost picked off Tracy Smith. Almost had a piece of that. De Graffenried was the man that Blunden was looking for, but Tracy Smith nearly had it.
Now De Graffenried's going to slip as he comes off the line of scrimmage right there, which gives him a little bit of time. Smith's got him outside, and now he comes in and he's open, but Smith, good job of reading the pass. And notice how he batted it down with both hands. Not just tipped it away, but he batted it straight down. No one was going to catch that ball.
So 31-yard field goal to tie it up. This a big kick for Conley, and he's got it. The Claymores needed that. And the crowd here really celebrating, and we have a tied ball game with 2:42 remaining.
And Nick, if this one goes to overtime, it may be a question of just how many guys the Dragons can put on the field.
I tell you, it's the last thing that the Barcelona Dragons need is overtime. Even the guys that aren't injured are absolutely exhausted. There's Byron Bonds blowing hard. He's had a tough night ever since Chucky Johnson went down on that opening series. See Pau Cole, number 31, a national player, he's in there. It really is anyone they can get at the moment, the Barcelona Dragons.
And you know, with these small rosters, all these guys have to do double duty on kickoff teams, kick return teams. Now you're starting to put new guys into those positions. You're always inviting a breakdown. Juan Long limping visibly.
4 minutes off the clock. They didn't get a touchdown, but crucially they did put some points on the board, and the Claymores draw level. Just confirmation once again, the losers here, their season is over. The Claymores can still finish with a flourish. If Jim Kreiner and his men can put 3 wins together and results go their way, they could yet go to the World Bowl. It's a long shot, but they are alive. And it's an important defensive series coming up now for the Claymores, all square at 13 apiece. All takes a single hop at around the 15. Shelby Hill, or rather Tyree Davis, with some running room to around the 43-yard line. That was an important special teams play. It's given Jay Walker something to work with. Good field position with 2.5 minutes remaining.
And Dick Curl, the offensive coordinator, talking to Jay Walker. Tyree Davis, he had an opening there and nearly was able to break that kickoff return.
Jay Walker hasn't quite matched Matt Blundin's numbers, but nonetheless very impressive considering the circumstances. 51 attempts and not an interception, and he's had to throw all the time.
Think they'll pass on this play, Nick?
Oh, just possibly. There it is to Mario Bailey to midfield, a pickup of around 6, maybe 7. Mario Henry rather, not Mario Bailey.
But Mario Bailey's a good receiver too.
He is.
He is.
Not for Barcelona though.
Now the Claymores have to be thinking about the deep threat. Barcelona hasn't gone deep too many times on them, but they've established the short one. Now they can go long. Cisco Marcos in the game left.
2nd down and 4. And 2-minute warning. The clock stops, timeout on the field, everything to play for here, all square at 13 apiece, 2 minutes left. We'll be back.
Sam used every wall in the house for a backboard.
And he looks just like me anyway, so I think he got that from me. He can do that maneuvering and get by. I like to see Kenny when he steals it. So he can steal a ball. Ow! 58 feet out. Swish. He makes me feel 10 feet tall just to talk about him. Kenny would get it. Guess he got it from his mother.
People don't do the gauntlet anymore. We are gonna risk death a number of times on this trip. You're gonna scream your guts out. You'll love it. Pump it hard!
From the director of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon. The River Wild.
Playing this month on DirecTV.
With 2 minutes left in the ball game, Scotland and Barcelona, 2 teams who have to win to keep their season alive, are all locked up at 13 apiece. And Jay Walker, without any running backs to help him out, is passing on every down and closing in on a World League record for most attempts in a game. 2nd down and 4. 2 minutes left. 4 wide receivers out. They go and get a 1st down to Tyree Davis, who is nailed but hangs on to the ball, and that moves the chains, and they're closing in on field goal range.
Good catch by Tyree Davis, good hanging on, and good protection for Jay Walker. Joey Mickey stayed in and did a good job blocking that time. Looked like the 6th lineman there.
The clock continues to run there, knocking on the door at the 41-yard line. Over the middle to Shelby Hill, who gets great second effort, picks up around 7 yards, spun off 2 tacklers, Hill, and he's having the biggest day of his professional career.
They got a hell of a field goal.
There's a timeout called. Let's listen in to Jack McNell.
All we got to do is protect it and get a field goal range. I know. All right, now. Let's come back to more options, more fight, right? Tell them that we get the blitz comes, see it.
Well, Dick Curl saying there to Jay Walker, get it into field goal range.
Missed what the call of the play was, but obviously all they want to do is work the clock and get in for the field goal, which means they can go to the sidelines or they can go to the middle because they got the timeout to play with.
Minute 20 left. Barcelona closing in on field goal range. Scott Serradi has kicked a 44-yarder. That's his longest. He's missed from 52. So they need another 10 or 15 yards to get it on the edge of Serradi's field goal range.
And really what you're talking about is a couple of completions at this point. You want to get the 1st down, and then you want to get one to put you in range.
Second down and just 2 to go for the Dragons. Scotland show blitz. Walker pump fakes, is put under pressure, puts it upstairs, throws it away. Smart play from Walker. And that should be a new World League record, 55 attempts for Jay Walker. But records right now, the last thing on his mind.
And Jay Walker did a nice job there of reacting to the pressure and then pumping, but he didn't have anywhere to go with the ball, so he just threw it away.
And as Mike Carlson will know, Pat O'Hara of the Ohio Glory set that record.
Well, I think Brad Johnson broke it in the first game of the season against Frankfurt.
It certainly was close. Third down and 2, and the Claymores and their fans know how important the next play is going to be.
A little bit of quick referencing, Brad Johnson didn't, it was a team record for pass attempts.
That's right.
So I stand corrected.
Yep. Because Kevin McDougall was in there as well.
That's right.
Timeouts left, just 1 for Barcelona. Let's listen in.
960 all hits.
I tell you what, you want to have some balls and just put it in and just hit it.
The whole thing?
I don't know about the whole thing.
We're going to break a big one here because I got Tyree. The 2 backers coming. He's driving across the middle. This play can be big, which they're probably going to do.
So, it's something you like with Jack Bicknell. Do we have the stones to go for it, says Jack Bicknell. But Jay Walker, the other thing you like is he knows what's going to work for him. If they've got the linebackers coming, he wants Tyree Davis across the middle, which would be the zone where the linebackers who are pass rushing would be. So now let's see what the linebackers show for the Claymores. That's the big thing.
Third down, huge play coming up for both teams. Third down and 2, 1:13 left. All square at 13 apiece. The crowd getting into it. Walker drops, gets protection, throws to Mario Henry. They're saying it's incomplete. And now, does Jack McNeil go for it? The punting unit comes on. Will they go for a field goal, which would be around 50 yards? And I think Cowboy Jack is going to put the pressure on Scott Serrady.
That's interesting because the linebackers did come. Henry was over the middle but not open. And Davis was over the middle and not open, and he went for Henry.
It will be a 50-yard field goal for Scott Serrady. And the fans really getting into this. It's on its way. Has it got the legs? It's good. And the Dragons have gone on top.
That's 4.
And as Jack Bicknell says, is that a 4-pointer? Well, it was kicked of 50 yards.
3 point for the offense.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a 3-point field goal, I think. 3-point field goal.
It's a...
Now that was kicked surely from the 50 yards.
It was 50 yards and the scoreboard showed 17. Now let's see where the ball was put down. Just inside the 50. It was a 49-yard, 2-foot and 10-inch field goal.
So it's a 3-pointer, and that could be important. But the Dragons are on top again with Serrady's longest of the season. Walker knows it's good, Serrady knows it's good, 49 yards, and it was never in doubt.
Now we saw last week, Walker moved the Dragons the length of the field in the last minute, and they just came short. They had a shot at the winning touchdown on the last play. Kenny McIntyre deflected the ball away from Mario Henry, or they would have won it. Can Matt London and the Scottish Claymores do the same thing?
Well, Barcelona, who've hung tough, have got their noses ahead once again, but there's still 64 seconds remaining. And Serrady smiling with the official there once they got the confusion sorted out. Certainly Jack Bicknell was saying that's a 50-yard field goal, but as the replay showed, quite right, just a couple of inches short.
Let's do it again.
So Jim Kreiner staring down the barrel of the shotgun now. There's no way back for the Claymores if they lose this one.
And the Claymores have found a lot of ways to lose, but losing to a team with no running backs and about 6 guys walking wounded and out of the game is going to be a tough one to take.
It's got to be the end of the line, really, hasn't it? It can't get much worse than that, but they can still turn it around. Saradi kicks off, squib kick, Ben Torriero will field it. Torriero takes at the 30, cuts past one tackler, gets 3 or 4 extra yards. Ben Torriero picking up his 4th return of the year, gets it to around the 43-yard line, 14 yards on the return.
Now really, you've only got to make for the Claymores about 20 yards in the next 50 seconds to at least tie the game or have a shot at it.
The biggest series of Matt Blundin's time with the Scottish Claymores. 55 seconds remaining, 2 timeouts. Joe Johnson tries to get off the field. Does he make it? Flag comes in. It's a free play and it's incomplete. But the flag came in and it didn't look like Johnson got off the field.
Which is a tough one because there's no way he's interfering with the play.
It's the old 12 men on the field thing again.
Yep.
Jack Bicknell will blow his stack if that one stands up.
And Matt Blundin gets hit hard as he releases the ball here. He steps up in the rush and Byron Bonds gets him from the back.
And that twisted the small of his back. Blundin has got up, he's still there. But the call did indeed go against Barcelona. Brings up a 1st down and 5. They called it officially an illegal substitution. Jack Bicknell going through agony, as is Jim Kreiner on the other sideline. Blundin with a lot of time, switches, goes, gets a man. They're ruling it incomplete. Doug Williams looking on. Lee Harris unable to come down with 1 foot in bounds. There's still no panic here. It's 2nd down and only 5 for Doug Williams and the Claymores.
And remember, they only have to get the ball across the 40 to have a shot at tying it with a field goal.
Or even winning it with a 50-yarder. 2nd down and 5. Blundin takes another deep drop, gets a lot of time, goes out. Well, they're ruling it incomplete. The officials saying he's out of bounds.
Sam Clancy, the defensive line coach, was making the call there. He was all over that one.
Get in the field goal position. Come on, that's all we need.
It brings up 3rd down and 5. 2 incompletes. Both of them close, both of them just out of bounds. It's a game that makes a head coach age about 5 years.
Not to
3rd
mention
down.
an announcer.
Pressure comes, Blundin gets time, he's got his man. It's a 1st down for the Scottish Claymores. Darren Butler eventually coming in and making the stop. Lee Harris with the catch, but a flag in the Claymores backfield.
Oh, and this is a killer of a call.
And that hurts. Well, here's the official.
Holding, 76 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Number 76 gets assessed.
Andre
Hewitt, the tackle.
And we haven't had a holding call up till now. Hewitt's the left tackle. Let's take a look at him coming in. Big 76 there, you see his position. He's got his hands out and he reaches around. It's a good call, no question. Kevin O'Brien beat him from the outside for speed. And he got his hands outside O'Brien and turned him around. No question about the call.
So instead of a 1st down with 31 seconds left and close to field goal range, it's now 3rd and 15.
And Jack Bicknell has just picked up his first break of the game.
But no question, obviously, that if the Claymores fail to convert here, they will go for it on 4th down. A 2-play situation for the Claymores. The pressure comes. Kevin O'Brien one way, Blundin goes the other. He's got a man. Looks like a 1st down for Lee Harris. It is a 1st down, and they've gone to Lee Harris when they needed him.
And Lee Harris not only makes the catch, but he steps out of bounds to stop the clock.
Timeout after we get out of bounds.
Watch Lee Harris now. Watch him looking for the 1st down marker. Right there. I know I've got it. He makes the turn. And Tracy Smith was laying off him a long way.
Blundin puts it upstairs, but not much doing there for Lee Harris, who's switched sides, and that's incomplete.
56, 57, Ohio, and go. 8 to run off.
57 Ohio and go, did he say? Doug, I don't have the listening device in here now. That would tend to indicate that you got DeGraff and Reed running an out and down.
Second down and 10. Blundin drops, pump fakes, pressure comes, Blundin puts it upstairs, looking for DeGraff and Reed. They got him. They're saying he's out of bounds.
And that was the play. DeGraff and Reed ran the out pattern. Blundin made the pump fake, and DeGraff and Reed went down. He took it deep.
Fans here at Murrayfield stunned by that.
Now here's DeGraff and Reed. He's already beaten them on the out pattern. They fell for it. Blundin delivers the ball over his shoulder, and let's watch where the feet are. He only has to have one in bounds. Now one's out already, and the other one's out. It's a good call.
Yeah, as soon as that first foot went out of bounds, that was it.
Second foot was on the line when he made the catch.
Can't complain at that one. Third down. The Claymores still need more with 13 seconds remaining. Blundin in trouble, dumps it off. Saran Stacey looking for first down yardage, gets it, gets more, gets out of bounds. 4 seconds left.
And what a smart play by Saran Stacey to take it out of bounds. He got as many yards as he could, and then he went out of bounds, which gives him a shot at the field goal. Heads up play by Saran Stacey, clutch running and smart football.
There is a flag, which could be very significant. It looks like it's gone against the Claymores again. Can you believe this?
Then again, we got to see just how bad hold it was.
We got to go for it, Doug. One shot.
They had a shot at the field goal. Now they've just got to put it in the end zone and hope.
What?
And as we said, a really big play. Blundin getting to his safety valve, Stacey, and Stacey making a tremendous run on a really smart bit of football. Would have set up a great opportunity to tie the game on the field goal. Barcelona's just taking the time out.
Victory.
They can rest their troops, and they can also now tell them what to do.
They only need to hang on for one more play, the Dragons. What a victory this would be for Cowboy Jack against all the odds, but what a sickener for the Claymores. Red Kellin there, the defensive coordinator. Just one more play. The Scottish Claymores 47 yards out. Just another day in the World League for Cowboy Jack.
Exactly. This is a tough one. It's been some season for Jack Bicknell. And on the other side of the field, it's been some season for Jim Kreiner, too. These are two guys who've gone through the coaching terrors this year.
As have so many of these coaches. We've had so many strange games, close games, very few blowouts. No shortage of excitement in the World League this year. That's as far as the fans are concerned. It's torture for these fellas. This is it. Third down, but with 4 seconds left, a last chance. Blundin with time, puts it upstairs, looks for DeGraff and Reed, and it's broken up, and the Barcelona Dragons have held on. I think Eric Turner's come up with the interception, and Cowboy Jack can ride out of Murrayfield with an unlikely win.
Way to go, baby.
I think Bobby Hammond said after the 11-10 win up here, it was ugly, but we'll take it. And I think Jack Bicknell would say the same thing after this one.
Well, when you consider that the Dragons didn't have a running back for the whole of the second half, they've done pretty well. They've hung on. And Cowboy Jack and his season stays alive. The Dragons win it 16-13. Let's